Hey, Street Fighters! Welcome to the live stream, the podcast, the show! Thanks for being here. We enjoy your company as we try to make sense of the world around us. We had a wonderful afternoon. We already did a show earlier today. You'll be hearing that later this week on Wednesday. Very special edition of Street Fight is on the way. For those of you that don't know who we are, my name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quimby. We're the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. You can hear us on WCRS in Columbus, Ohio. We normally do the call-in show on Sunday nights like this, but there is an audio issue as usual. So we will be taking some questions from the chat. Brian has harvested some pretty interesting responses about interviews on Twitter that completely blew my fucking lid off. So we have a great show planned. Join in the stream chat. You can do that by going to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, watching the show. And if you want more Street Fight Radio, we have zines, we have bonus shows, we have video over on patreon.com. Thanks for being here. Ready to do this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Water. It's pipes.
So I right before the show, I got an ad for a music festival.
Okay.
That I'm now like 100% curious about now, and it's in Tennessee though.
Oh no.
You're the only 10 I see.
Oh,
right?
thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'll go there.
It's October 11th through 13th, and like on the Sunday, it's got Guns N' Roses headlining, but then Deftones, Coheed and Cambria, Lamb of God, Alter Bridge, Ministry, Skillet. The second night is a headline by Def Leppard, and it's got ZZ Top, Ghost, and Mastodon and Gojira playing. It's like
I will go. I will go.
Yeah. So
I will fucking go to that.
That's wild, man. Seether's playing too, which that's a something for me, at least. A little something for the boys, sit down, listen to some Seether.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible lineup there.
Just weird. It's like I've been thinking about this a lot with music festivals lately, that like when they first started, the goal was to do something interesting and weird and put bands together that you might not ever see together. And now it feels like the big ones, at least, are all just the same bands. It feels like everything is becoming like a lot of the same biggest bands, just in different orders, I guess, to me.
Well, I mean, there was just a spin-off where it made sense to group bands together and do like the ultimate like hard rock festival or something like that. But there's still plenty of those that switch up their lineups. Like the original ones still do. I just think as a way to make money, it's way easier to sell a ticket when you've just basically took someone's Spotify playlist and then made it into
like you hear about Coachella and you're like, oh, it's Ariana Grande now and like Kanye West. And it's just like all the biggest stars basically are these things, which to me is like, wow, I would really like something kind of curated for me.
Sure.
And even like a lot of the lesser known ones, like the ones where like a My Morning Jacket plays, it's still the same kind of bands that are around that kind of thing, but I get it.
I love them. I have to say I love them. I'm not going to hate on them.
I'm going to.
They're really, for me, because I do listen to all types of music, I like stumbling into a bunch of different things, and
you like everything but rap and country, right?
I mostly listen to rap and country.
Me too. But I like saying it.
Yeah.
I mostly listen to everything except for rap and country.
I'm a regular. Person. I'm pretty normal.
People used to like really say that
all the time.
It's so the opposite of everything when you take out two of the biggest kinds of music out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most popular.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
We did a really fun show. You will have already. No, you won't have already.
It's coming out.
Yeah.
This
Patton
Wednesday.
Oswalt's going to come out this week. He was very nice to us.
Yeah, the only good celebrity, Patton Oswalt.
He really. I mean, like, here's the thing. And I'll say this before the interview comes out, but the way that he really won me over because he seems like a super introspective guy, a guy that thinks about stuff and doesn't immediately kind of freak out. And I think he said a lot of stuff on our show that really jived with me.
Yeah, it was cool.
As a person who in my past is also been an edgy kind of guy that was trying to do something that was trying to do. I'm trying to take it back from people, and then not understanding that, like, well, those people just love it anyway. They don't fucking, like, ironic racism.
Yeah.
They'll take that away from you, and they will just like it anyway.
Right.
You never know what your audience is going to gravitate toward, and it's better just not to risk that, in my opinion. When it comes to, like, ironic racism, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I can see a space where, I'll do that joke, and people will all know that, people all know I'm not racist. I'm just doing the joke. But it's like, yeah, how many times have people been? How many times in this world have people been like, they just gravitate to you for the wrong reasons? I mean, there are people who listen to us that'll say things to me, and I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It was interesting. He was talking about being a Gen X person and that he felt like the motto of his generation was like, whatever, man, like, we can't do shit, fuck it, And being a 50-year-old guy where he could easily just go back into that training and feel that way, and instead he does want to be active and engaged with, like, social issues, and he gets a bunch of shit from people that are like, why does a 50-year-old man care about pronouns, stuff like that.
Yeah, and he was
like,
I want to say this before that interview comes out, because he's going to say things that he says some things in the interview that you guys are all going to be, like, annoyed with or whatever. But, like, I will say this. He came on our show, and he has listened to us say mean things about him on our show in the past. And he came on our show. He asked to be on our show. And I respect the fucking hell out of that. And I respect his opinions and his ideas. I think that give me 3 more hours with him, and I could have probably explained, like, bottom-up organizing a little better, but... Like, I'm not here to, like, I am here to, kind of give my opinion, but I'm not a teacher, and I don't know how to get people to understand bottom-up organizing, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, he sat down and talked to us. I always give people a lot of leeway when I hang around with them anyways, so, hopefully we get to do it again, and we can go at it again. It'll be good.
Yeah. Just give me, like, 5 more times to explain it, and I think it'll be okay.
Right.
But, I mean, you can see where, like, it probably, for me and you even, if we weren't doing the call-in show and we didn't have, like, people talking to us regularly about stuff, we would be sort of disconnected from what the world is like out there, like a working class struggle and things like that, I think, and it might seem a little... what we do might seem a little weird because we're just freshly out of that world.
Yeah. And I've also stayed up till 5 a.m. arguing with people about whether or not capitalism can be good before, and would not be good radio.
Yeah. So that was fun. Like Brett said, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about on the show because I asked a couple of questions. I have been let me start this from the beginning. The first time we heard about this was brought to our attention was from my buddy Chris from Twitter when we were on the road in Boston, and he told us that he had just done an 8-hour job interview. And both of us were like shocked. But here's the deal. When it comes to jobs, somebody asked me this today. They said, I was saying that if you're making less than $50,000 a year, then you shouldn't have to turn in a resume.
Right.
And just get out of here with that shit.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of, like, jobs that require, like, a specialty that only pay about $28,000-$30,000 a year.
Those should pay $50,000 a year.
Okay, well, I didn't know that was a part of it.
Well, I mean, that I think that everybody's underpaid. You know what I mean? And for me, I just think about, like, the people that are putting in resumes for jobs at a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's like,
yeah,
I'm trying to get a minimum wage fucking job here. You know,
Right.
I'm not trying to get a fucking heavy, I'm not trying to operate heavy machinery. And we read part of this during the Patton interview, but I'm going to read the whole thing now so people get kind of an idea about it. I posted about it too. And this is where I came up with this concept. Think you should get a paycheck just for showing up? Were you born with an undeniable sense of entitlement? Do you feel like your emotions are more important than a job well done? Then you should probably take a hard pass at even thinking of giving us a resume. We're looking for a motivated, fun, which already you've started this out letting me know that you are not fun.
Yeah.
We are looking for a motivated, fun, and professional individuals to help us kick ass in the barbecue world.
Oh, man. Fun for them is like, woo, wow, I love to wipe this counter down. Like,
Well, yeah,
people
what
just,
is the fun?
they want you whistling while you work. Like, they want you fully on board, like you own the place.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so this is where it gets...
And this is for a part-time job.
Right. And this is weird. This
A
is
part-time
already
job.
Weird,
A part-time
right?
job.
This is an already very weird thing to say. Okay?
Yeah.
I think it gets weirder now. This is the sentence where it gets really weird to me. Seriously, if you're going to act like a little bitch when we ask you to work hard, this is not the job for you.
Wow.
Like, that is aggressive, man. And
What if,
it's
like, all those guys with Mustangs are, like, just like, hell yeah, man, you know, place tough.
Yeah, so don't even bother. Duties will include taking fast casual orders, expediting, pouring drinks, food, running, and bussing tables. Think you can do it? You most likely can't, but go ahead. Send us a resume.
Wow. I mean, who is... Does someone get challenged by this? Do you think there's, like, some warrior that's, like, reading through Craigslist and like, haha,
Well,
challenge accepted?
There's two things that I'm thinking about here. One,
Okay.
they hate their last counter person. Like that,
They're getting back
they
at them.
Totally hate.
This is a screed. They're hoping that the old person is like, I wonder if they replaced me yet. And then they go to read the job interview and get their feelings hurt.
Right. Sadie, our buddy Heldo,
Oh,
on
yeah,
Twitter
one of the best.
said she walked out on a restaurant and then a couple days later saw the posting that was just ripping her to shreds. She didn't screen cap it, so she didn't
Sure.
have it. She's like, I wish I would have screen capped it because it was so satisfying to see
How
them rip me
you
to
got them.
shreds.
Yeah. Yeah, they were mad about that for a while.
You pissed them off.
They went. Yeah, they threw something at the fucking wall when they got home.
And here's the thing. Maybe the person... What do you think entitled means to these people? Do you think the person asked for more money than they think that person deserves?
I mean, entitled is really expecting anything than what the boss gives you.
Yes. Yeah. So
Entitled...
asking for a little bit more.
Asking for anything, really. Unless you're asking for more work, you know, then they probably don't want you to ask them for shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, it's like...
I mean, because that's entitled's like, oh, you think just you come in here, you work in my restaurant, that, you know, you should have access to healthcare or some shit? You think that, like, you fucking work? You think anybody can come here and clean the fucking grime off the ground?
Yeah.
You know? And you want me to thank you for it? You want me to pay you for it? You know?
mean, submitting a resume for a part-time cashier position already seems like so much to me.
I know it is like very
Do they want to cover?
I think it's probably a screening process. It probably does some sort of classes screening process or something.
Yeah, those are so unfair.
I think that's what it is.
And that's what
I knew some pretty brilliant people that when I read their resume, I was like, oh no, what are you doing? This is so bad. You sound horrible. Like, why did you just write down what you did at work? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like this is like you have to lie. You have to convince them to hire you.
Well, that's the funny thing about
you have to tell them what they want to hear. You don't just write down what you fucking did.
That's the funny thing about resumes, and especially resumes for restaurants. And you hit the nail on the head when you said this is a screening process, because every minimum wage job that I have applied for with a resume all they did was look at my phone number and call me and basically throw the resume in the trash and make me fill out an application when I got there to fill it out anyway.
Yeah, and then they also, if it has your address on it, they know where you live in town, and then they can make a judgment about that on whether you're going to be a problem or not.
That's actually really true in that, like,
I've seen it happen.
I was in sociology, when one of the things I learned about in a work course that I took when I was in college was about, like, people who live in neighborhoods that are deemed trashy in the city that you're in have a harder time getting jobs than people who live in actually nice neighborhoods. Because we have places, and that's the weird thing. It's like, we will watch these Undercover Boss episodes, and there are people who work at these places that are fucking absolute angels. And you know that they don't live in a great neighborhood. They're working at fucking White Castle or something, and they're just... like, those are the people, they deserve a shot, number one. But number two, they would be great at whatever the job is. The entry-level data entry position, the answering phones for $12 an hour. Like, they would be fucking great at it.
Yeah.
And they just don't even make it through the screening process because they live in Columbus. They live on the South End or in the Hilltop.
West Side, yeah.
You know, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have definitely seen... at jobs, people say we're not hiring them. They're from the West Side.
Yeah, it's infuriating to me because watching the Undercover Boss show, and that I do know I worked with all those people that really were, way better than me, and that they were grateful to just have anything that they have, grateful to be alive, which I still haven't even, I'm jealous that they have that, but they deserve, but they also make those places work and make them enjoyable for the rest of us. And that's a skill that's just as valuable to me as like fucking teaching or welding or whatever it is, going into a McDonald's and actually having it like run smoothly.
I mean, I just remember begging so much, like all the time I spent like begging for these jobs, and something that has come up. So the reason we're talking about these interview processes being 8 hours, 5 hours, even 3 hours, is that if you're going for a huge job, if you're going for $100,000 a year job starting out that involves a certain amount of skills, and like you have the time to go through this process and everything works out great, and either you get it or you don't get it, they're flying you out and all this shit. All right, like, I guess. But I feel like they're not really entitled to that much time if they're not paying you yet.
For the interview stuff?
Yeah, for the interview stuff. And so I started asking, what goes on in these interviews? What's this thing that's happening? And I did see a lot of cases where, yeah, I guess, you're a computer programmer.
And they
want you to design a site. They want to know stuff. But I also saw...
But that's like... But I mean, that's also, there's a lot of exploitation that like free work they get out of people doing stuff like that too,
There is. And when I got the job
having them like do something and then showing it to somebody at the office and saying, "No, we don't need to hire you," and then having them build it instead.
Right. I've got a lot of those.
You know what Bill Burr on his podcast said, that Patrice hipped him to that, like when you go in, when they say they just need a funny guy, like a comedian, and they're trying to sell like a new Diet Coke or something, they send him in there, like they're never going to fucking hire him to do it, but they just get to 30 minutes or 15 minutes of them riffing in front of it, and then they can take any of those things and run with it and never fucking pay them,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, we're seeing a lot of that now. I had to work a shift at the restaurant that I was that I threw the salad dressing at my boss.
Uh-huh.
Like, I had to do a shift there. He paid me out.
Well, that counts.
But then, and he hired me.
Okay.
And I just kind of imagine, but what about the people he doesn't hire that just wasted their day there? I guess he does pay them $25 or something at the end of the day, but it's still like, I don't have a day to just give you. I need a fucking job. Yeah. I need to get a job. If I'm not here, if I'm not hired here, I need to be trying to get hired somewhere else. Right now.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people out there that don't understand the desperation of somebody applying for minimum wage jobs. I know for me, when I was applying for those jobs, I needed something, because when I quit that diner fucking job, dude, I didn't know where I was going to make any fucking money. I didn't have any idea what to do after I left there. And I needed that $200 every 2 weeks that I was getting from that job. I needed that.
Yeah.
It was the thing that was keeping me from not having electricity or internet or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think this idea that they deserve to, like, if you can't interview somebody and talk to them and look at their application and just make a decision on whether, you don't get a day from that person. You don't get to just take a day from them.
I feel like I've told this several times, but this is my worst one ever. I found one of those places, write your own paycheck, help, raise money for a good cause, hustle, grind, all that stuff. And I was like, fuck it, I'll check it out. Like, I've never tried it before, so I'll give anything a fucking shot. They want you to be there at like 6 a.m. I show up. It's in like one of those like business strip, like the hidden ones, like just office buildings in a park out in Nowheresville.
Okay.
And I'm talking to this guy, and he's like, we sell coupons for places around town, and 5% of everything we sell goes to kidney foundation or bone marrow or whatever the fuck it is.
Just say some charity, because that's really like they aren't.
Yeah, I mean, it was a scam. So, I mean, I show up there super early. We head out to a Kmart parking lot. We set up a table, and we're just hassling people as they leave Kmart, trying to get them to buy coupons, dude. Buy coupons.
Yeah.
Like
something we're very used to just getting for free.
Yeah, they send them in the mail. Yeah. And like it wasn't like it's not like a gift card. It's not like, hey, if you take your $50 and turn it into $50 worth of gift cards, we can shave off a little bit and give it to a charity, or pay $45 and we'll give you a $40 card and $5 goes to charity. This was just straight up like, get one free steak when you buy a steak.
Yeah, right. Buy a sandwich and get the fries and drink for free.
Right. Yeah, stuff like that. Like free Hush Puppy add-on, great.
Buy something at full price and get something you should have got with it for free anyway that's figured in. Yeah, I actually...
So I knew what was happening about 3 or 4 hours in. It was like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. in the morning. They're like, let's break for lunch. I'm like, how much longer are we going to be here? And they're like, well, we got a number to hit. So we hit the number is what we're going to be here. And I was just like, I really took like a deep breath out and was just like, I can make it through this, but this isn't work. Like, there's no way I'm doing it. I've already figured out what's going on. I'm doing the math in my head. They told me how much we get of each sale. I've paid attention to what we've sold so far. We were out there till fucking 6 at night.
Jesus Christ.
And they drive me back. I get home at like 7 or something, and it was a whole fucking day wasted. But then, like, I did the math on it, and everybody would have made like $60 or $70, and it was such a fucking ripoff.
I did the same thing when I went.
But the end of it all was that the guy that ran it was a super greasy dude, like hairy knuckles that had gold rings on them, shyster shark looking like suit with like hair pluggy type gelled hair, complete fucking psychopath.
Just the scariest looking guy.
Yeah. And he's like, Brett, I heard you did a good job today. I'd like to invite you on as part of the team, and he's like, shakes his fucking hand. I'm like, I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm ready to rip it. At this point I'm just acting because I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it for myself. I'm just like, I was really inspired by what we did today. And I just promised the world to everybody. I said hi to everybody as I left and was like, we're going to go get it tomorrow. And then just like fucking burned out and was like, fuck that place forever.
I kind of had the same situation happen to me with, do you like rock and roll music? Do you like heavy metal music? Do you want to work in a fast-paced, fun environment? And do you have, piercings? And I have my eyebrow pierced and shit. And I was like, fuck yeah, I like all those things, man. I love heavy metal. And I go to this office park on the east side of Columbus, in the middle of fucking nowhere, this little office building, nothing on the walls, just like a couple of desks and a couple of cubicles. And there's this guy that played drums in a heavy metal band that I went to high school with. And he was there, and he knew me. He was like, oh, my God, Brian. Hey, it's fucking cool that you're here, man. I'm going to take you out today for training. it wasn't paid training. It was just, this is training.
Yeah.
And it's winter.
It was just work.
Yeah. And it's winter. It's like 10 degrees outside. And I showed up in like slacks and a button-up shirt that somebody had gotten me, like a dress shirt. I didn't even bring a coat or anything like that because they didn't tell me anything about what the job was. They didn't say a single fucking word about what the actual job was. So I didn't even know how to prepare to go to the thing. And I don't know. I think I like hoped it was an office job. I think
You didn't know?
Fucking no idea. They just said come in. And I think in my mind, I was like, maybe this is the office job that I always wanted. And I'll get to sit down and fucking at a desk. I don't care what I'm doing. Just give me a fucking desk that I can hang a fucking picture of Deftones on the cubicle and, work here. He's like, okay, well, you're with me today, Brian. I fucking get in this guy's Jeep with 2 other people. And he drives me to fucking Chillicothe, an hour away from Columbus, and we're fucking going door to door and trying to get people to switch their gas company to some scam gas thing. They always do that. They're always like, You like wind power? Now they do it like with environmentalists. You like wind power? We got wind power, This is a new thing.
I've switched.
And it's really just, a lot of times it's just an add-on to your bill, or it's just switching your name. It doesn't make any fucking difference.
I know. They're like, technically it's the same awful company that always did your electricity, but there's a little asterisk now.
Yeah.
That means it's 100% clean energy. You're like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I assume it's not.
Sure.
It's the same shit. But most people were not receptive to it. They just slammed the door in your face, and the guy would always be like, well, I guess you don't like saving money, and fucking walk away. And we get to lunchtime, and I'm like, how long are we out here? And he was like, well, we'll probably leave about 5. We'll probably go home. And it's me, a woman, a dude, and then the guy that's training us. And we go to Walmart to eat dinner at the McDonald's inside the Walmart, and me and this woman are just like, I'm not fucking going back out there. And he was like, are you serious? And we were like, I can't do this. This is like, I'm never going to do this job.
Yeah.
I can't do this. He was like, well, I'll be back at 5 o'clock to pick you up. And me and her just sat around Walmart and smoked cigarettes all day.
That's
until
fun.
He came back and picked us up.
The woman dropped out too?
Yeah, me and like
what'd she say?
She just was like, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. You didn't even tell me what this was.
Oh wow. They just like kidnapped you and like dropped you in front of a door and were like, go.
There was no interview, dude. There was not even a job interview. It was like, come in tomorrow, dress to work. And they didn't tell you what dress to work meant, but I just assumed it was an office job. Yeah. I really think I thought it was a boiler room job.
Okay. Like calling people on the phone?
Like doing telemarketing. And I was like, fine, I'll fucking do it, Because like all of my job experience up to that point was service work it was all service work, or I painted car doors for a week.
Yeah.
And it was just like, every job I've ever had has been physically taxing, and it sucked. And I was just I was willing to do anything to get a chair, a job that I did in a chair.
Right.
And, I finally ended up getting that and hating it, and then quitting it and for a job where I got a van.
Right. Well, you got your chair now.
Yeah, I do have my chair. I mean, this is better.
I had a pretty bad one when I was like 18. I had this. I had another opportunity in the paper for like write your own paycheck, that kind of thing. Sell our product, easy peasy. I show up and it's a 2-hour presentation on these fucking knives, and then they like make us break off into groups and like practice selling the knives to each other.
Cutco?
Yeah, I think it was them. Yeah.
I've heard of that.
And this is once again, and they're like the whole time I'm just like, I'm not going to do this. Like they set up appointments and all that stuff, but
I mean, once you get there to do the appointment, though.
I'm 18-year-old kid that doesn't know how to cook anything at all. At all.
Yeah.
I've never cooked.
I know.
I've only microwaved and heated things up. There was no way that I even gave a shit about those knives and would be able to sell them to like some fucking homeowner.
Yeah. A buddy of mine sold Kirby's for like a month and never made one sale the whole time.
Wow.
Because, he never made a single fucking sale.
You have
those
to,
things are so expensive.
You have to make people buy them. You're not selling them. You're making weak people buy them.
Yeah. Because he would do 2 or 3 appointments, and he said he sold 2. And basically, you would just go into people's house and vacuum their living room and clean their drapes with this thing. And he said, man, I'm not making very much money. I'm making like $30 a day. But if I sell one of these fucking things, man, I get like $200. And it's like, but if you're... When you reveal the price of, he said every time he revealed the price of the Kirby, people were basically like, get the fuck out of my house.
Nope.
The thing was like $1,000.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot.
So here's one of the replies I got.
These are good.
I once interviewed for a copywriting job.
Okay.
That ended up being a multi-hour process that included an impromptu writing exercise. I didn't get the job, but they used my writing sample in a marketing campaign.
What? See, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Limp Bizkit did that. Did you know Limp Bizkit did that?
No.
When their guitarist quit, they did, whoa, come to Sam Ash or Guitar World and try out for Limp Bizkit. And they did this, like, promotional run where they went to different Guitar Worlds and just had different guitar players come in and try out for the band, and then ended up hiring somebody from like another new metal band that like they just knew and used some of the riffs that people had played in that thing as like songs for their album. That was like a big scandal back in the early 2000s.
Wow. I did not know that.
Here's the one that really got me, and this is just something wild to me, Brett. Interviewed where they made me wait 2 hours in their waiting area. Every 15 minutes popped in to apologize for making me wait. Didn't get the job, but found out after I was hired the next time that I was graded on whether I stood up for myself, declaring my time valuable, and tried to leave.
Get out. That's a trap.
Yeah,
that's not a job interview. That's a trap. You're going to get mauled to death by those people.
That's a company.
What is that?
Yeah. That is a company that is fucking... I mean...
that's someone that's a sick person that shouldn't be in charge of people.
It is nice, though, that, like... do they want to... Because they would never hire somebody that was, like... My time's fucking worth... Like, do that? Are they looking for somebody to say, like, my time's worth more than this and you're wasting my time, I shall leave? Like, you're negging them into hiring you?
And then for them, it's like, what about for the first time you're like, oh, no, actually, I run a very tight ship here. I have something to do. 15 minutes is going to throw my whole day off.
Yeah, yeah.
Would they be like, well, I mean, he needs to have a little bit more time for pizza time, family funhouse.
Well, I was thinking about my first few jobs. My first 2 jobs were McDonald's and Chuck E. Cheese. And the way that I was hired at McDonald's was that they came to the lunchroom at my high school.
Yeah.
And I fucking went to talk to them, busting their balls. Dude, I was just like, being a huge ball buster to the people that were in there. Well, you going to hire me to make Big Mac? Hey, do I get free food? And, just being a jerk. And they hired me right there. They're like, you're hired, man. I filled out the application and they hired me.
Once again, you fell into a trap is what you did. They reach out and grab you and pull you in and then beat the shit out of you and then spit you out.
It was crazy because it was like I had all the power until they said, you got a job now. And then they brought me in and put me in a uniform, and then all the power went away immediately.
Yeah, no more of that fun. We don't like we like our kind of fun, Be excited about coming to work fun.
Yeah. I don't think that's the funny thing too, is like when they say fun, I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. And they said, this job, first and foremost, this job's just fun. And that job was not fun at all, ever. You weren't allowed to play the games, even if you worked on the fucking games. If they caught you playing a game, you got in trouble. Because I used to, play the Bozos. I wanted to master the Bozos Grand Prize game. And they're like, play a game every now and then with a kid. Give a kid a free game. And I was like, okay. And then every time I played, they yelled at me for playing a game. They're like, what are you doing? Just playing games over here?
It was like, well, I thought this was supposed to be a family fun place.
Yeah,
like,
no.
No, that's the brochure, Brian. That's not your job.
Worst interview of my life was at a salon where the manager didn't tell me it would be a working interview until I was already there and expected me to assist without pay for a full busy Saturday. I just walked out. That was
Wait, what was that again?
the worst interview of my life was at a salon where the manager didn't tell me it would be a working interview until I was already there and expected me to assist without pay for a full busy Saturday. And a lot of those fucking things are just, they need somebody on a Saturday. They don't really need to hire somebody. But
I don't think that's the case. I just think they're willing to, they just know they can take advantage of people.
yeah. Oh, here's a person that went, that this is an algorithm daddy on Twitter, somebody that went through the same thing I did. I got a call once for a job listing said nothing about sales or marketing. The interview was me stuck following this dude door to door while he sold natural gas. I told him after every house I didn't want the job and he should take me back. Wasted 4 hours like that.
Oh man, that
They
bus.
trap you, dude.
I would have just jumped and grabbed a bus. That's the wisdom here, is just like, go get the bus. I didn't have a phone back then, so I couldn't have made it. But now, like, just go jump on the bus. Keep
I was
always
an hour from home.
fold up $2. Keep it in your like corner of your pants pocket, and always be able to just jump on the bus and get the fuck out of there. Take the bus out of town.
I wonder if the fact that I was an hour away from Columbus like factored into their decision. Like if that was like a thing where they were like, he can't get away if we get an hour away from Columbus. Because it's like, I did part of me during the lunch after the door and telling this dude I didn't want to do it. I felt like it needed to be treated kind of delicately, because you're telling a guy, like, your job sucks, dude.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't want
for sure.
anything to do with this fucking
Yeah,
job.
I think this is a bad idea. I've taken a look at the what's going on here, and it's a bad idea. I went out immediately. Someone in the chat said I worked in Xbox tech support. They said we'd get game time all the time. Never once got time off the phones to play video games. They're like, it's Microsoft, man. We're fun, man. It's Xbox, you know.
Can I tell people
We're gonna have tournaments.
Can I tell people who are thinking about working in a call center, or who think that that's the dream job? Because for a while I thought the call center was the dream job. I'm telling you, when I got my job at Calltech, I was coming from fucking industrial roofing to I went from being a dishwasher at a golf course for $4.50 an hour to industrial roofing during the winter to then I got hired at a call center. I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm a fucking executive. I'm like,
You're gonna have stationery.
yeah, I'm here, dude. I'm
gonna get a Honda Accord someday.
Yeah, I didn't even have my own desk. You weren't even allowed to have your own cube, dude. You sat at a different one every day. They didn't want you getting too comfortable.
Oh, really? They wouldn't even give you a. That's disrespectful. That ain't no career.
You were never allowed to have your. There
They're
were
like,
weirdos.
keep on your toes.
There were weirdos that worked there that they were like, it's just easier if you let them sit there every day. But a guy like me, they were never gonna let me have.
You're like, oh, you showed up.
Yeah,
All
great.
right.
You know, you're
Grab a
sitting at
chair,
this one
jump on the
today.
phone, quick.
Yeah, and it
We're
was
timing
different
you.
every day. They didn't want you. They didn't want any personal items in the cubicles there. And I will tell you for a fact, you are never getting off the phone at a call center. I mean, unless you're a great worker and you get. I was just telling my wife that like I would maybe still be working at the call center if I had been working there for 2 years. They started doing chat support, and I begged to do the chat support, and they finally let me do it for one day. And I was like, okay, I can fucking do this. I don't have somebody yelling in my ear the whole time. This is great. I'm going to do this chat tech support. And then they saw that I could do it. And then the next day they made me do chat tech support and phone tech support at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay, like I'm never getting off these phones. They never wanted me off the phones. A certain amount of people will always have to be on the phones at a call center. And only a few people get out. That is the goal of every single person that works there. But if you're working in an actual call center, it's just like the rest of the world. more of you are going to stay on the phones than are going to get off the phones.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
the only way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, they need people on them phones.
I remember back then fighting for really trying to work hard to get a job in a unit called SBTC, which this is so funny for me being like now the show that I do, but I was trying to get a job in the SBTC area, which is small business tech calls area of the company. So like my goal was to answer phone calls from small business people, which is probably a nightmare. That's probably the worst unit to be in. Here's one. I had one that lasted 5 hours where I was interviewed by 6 increasingly high-ranking people until I was talking to the accounting head for a bookkeeper position. By that time, I had all my questions answered, and he was livid. I didn't have anything for the ask me a question part. I fucking hate the ask me a question part. When somebody says, do you have any questions for me? And I remember being in 8th grade, and we had to fill out a job application, and we had to write a resume. And after we wrote the resume, we had to do like a fake job interview after we studied this unit, which I wasn't a big time studier guy. But part of the unit said that when you're in a job interview and the guy that's interviewing you says, do you have any questions for me? You should always have like 3 questions for them. And I struggled every time to even get. I always said, well, I mean, you answered pretty much all of my questions, which is the wrong answer.
Right.
But how am I supposed to fucking make up a question if I don't? What is the question I'm supposed to make up? Because they don't want you to ask them, how much are you going to pay me here? What kind of benefits you got here?
Right.
Like, they don't want you asking those kind of questions. They want you to ask questions about the process of a job that you haven't done yet. How are you supposed to know?
No, you're supposed to ask them, like, what's their favorite part of the job or what inspires them about the company or, like, why do they think it's a great place to live or name one way that the company, like, helped you become a better person or something. But then you could also reveal some shit where they're like, oh, I mean, we don't do stuff like that. I mean, that's for, like, bigger companies.
That's smart, though. I never even thought about asking them anything about themselves, but I'll bet you most interviewer types, if you ask them something about themselves, you're going to get hired because they're like, nobody ever asked me about me. You know how people love to get asked shit about themselves.
I know that. Yeah,
you know.
I use it to my advantage. That's how I get jobs.
I had a job at a coffee shop once where they made me do 4 interviews in 3 weeks. Each
a coffee shop? No, that's a one and done.
Each one about an hour long.
No.
Hired me, didn't train me, and fired me in my 2nd week for not picking it up fast enough. What is it with coffee shop? Is this the 2nd story we've gotten about somebody trying to get a job at a coffee shop and getting fired 2 weeks in for not picking it up? Like, is that what they do?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those necessary things. There's going to, it's like sandwiches, like with the deli. It's not a new product. They aren't breaking the mold. They claim they care about their beans and all of that, but like it doesn't fucking matter. It all tastes pretty close to the same.
Do you think that like
anybody can make it, and then you get these like small business tyrant people? They're like, I just need one person to help while I roast the beans. It's like, no, you need like 3 or 4 people to take care of this fucking thing.
Yeah, and coffee is one of those things because we've seen a lot of the tyrants existing in beer. Like a lot of the tyrants we've seen are in craft breweries, and coffee is another one of those things where people get obsessed with it. And they want to make the best stuff.
Passionate.
And they become really good at it. And they're very passionate. But they're also fucking mean. And like not good bosses. You know? I applied at a place that like, I didn't get the job. I don't know what he was looking for. But I applied at a place. And I said, I'm interested in learning about coffee, and I did all the stuff, and he wanted a resume, and he wanted all this stuff, and I just think that he was just like, I don't know. I told him I wanted to make a living out of it. which is maybe why he didn't hire me. He's like, man, I ain't trying to like be your last boss or nothing. I tell
this isn't going to be like a partnership here.
I tell every fucking job that I go to try to get, I tell them all that I want it to be my last job.
You know, I just see myself retiring here. Like, really?
Dude,
really?
I want every job to be my last job. I don't want more jobs. I've had so many jobs, and every one of them I wanted to work my way up through McDonald's and now be working in the McDonald's head office when I was 16 and I got my job at McDonald's. I wanted to do that. I wanted to work my way up through Chuck E. Cheese to the fucking top of Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I wanted that at everything I ever went to. I just wanted to never in my life look for another job again. So that's where a lot of my panic and my neediness and my craziness actually probably came from, because I just don't want to fucking look anymore. I don't want to have to interview ever again.
I'll drink to that. That's
so fucking depressed.
I'll drink the smooth menthol tobacco flavor of Ivanovich menthol tobacco flavored vodka to that.
But you never, when you worked at Bath and Body Works, you didn't fucking think that or Abercrombie and Fitch, you didn't think that the day you walked into Abercrombie and Fitch, you weren't like, there's a fucking ladder here, and if I just stay on my shit and be good at this job, then I'll climb that fucking ladder and I'll get somewhere where I'm Mr. fucking Abercrombie and Fitch. You didn't think that when you got... No, I'm not saying that you thought you were going to take over, but didn't you see a ladder there where this could be the rest of your fucking life? Did you ever think about it like that? Like, did you ever look at your jobs as like, this is it for the rest of my life? Because I wanted to fucking do that, man. That was my fucking dream. My dream was to have a fucking career that lasted till I died.
Okay. Yes. I absolutely agree with that. It's actually the extension of that Means TV animated segment that we did, where when I went to the warehouse, the job was like, we need these boxes moved to these places. And I was really good at it and I was very efficient at it. And they would out loud to each other say, wow, Brett is like the best that we've ever had that's done this before. And then I was like, well, shouldn't I be in line for like a promotion to be in charge of like the guys and gals that were doing this? So, we can get the numbers all up like mine and do this real good. And they're like, oh, well, you don't have a degree. So we bachelor's degree is required to get to the management position. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, well, I guess, my box putting didn't really matter then at the end of the day, No,
they were just really glad to have a guy that was meeting the numbers.
Yeah, that's all it was.
You can just end up being just a guy that's really great at meeting the numbers, and they're just happy to keep you in the same spot because you're meeting the fucking numbers all the time. I hear that so much from my friends and from people in my life that stuck around the same company for 20, because, I'm 40 years old now. There's a lot of people in my life that have been doing their jobs for like 20 years. And like some people I know are in like a rut. And I've heard a lot from them where it's like, it feels like they're keeping me in this part of the company because I'm good at this, but I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. And like, I think it does suck that we saw, I don't think that generation of people that made a real go of it and worked their way up from the mailroom to the boardroom really existed. I don't think that was
no, it's not how it is.
But the truth is, my uncle fucking did it. My uncle worked his goddamn way up from the mailroom to like the boardroom at Nationwide Insurance, right?
Tight.
Like he worked his way up there, and I used to see that all the time as like, this is it, dude. But he did a whole bunch of other shit to get there. There was college, there was like networking, there was so much stuff. It's like not just an automatic thing.
I mean, it's just the world has moved far away from that. We don't have these like steadfast industries that are going to be around where someone can even work there and for a long period of time. Who the fuck knows what happens anymore?
Yeah. But
it's
how
also
great would
temporary.
it be if it was guaranteed?
I don't know, man. I don't
guaranteed.
like it. I don't want to do one thing forever, man.
Sure.
That's why people get real disaffected with life and shit.
But how great would it be if like it was guaranteed that you weren't going to have to hustle for another job for the rest of your life? Like that's all I want. I just want the security of knowing that I don't have to like hustle for this next thing. That was what I was always on about.
Well, but you got to put up with like your boss's racist emails then or something too.
Right. Yeah, there's so much to it, and I probably would have never been able to do it, but I got really, when I got disenchanted with the whole thing was when I found out that like, or you would see these articles that were really positive about like, you know, a lot of people are working 3 to 5 careers in their life. And it's like, that means that I have to keep begging these people for fucking careers. I have to keep begging these people for fucking jobs. Because I felt like I was begging. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you felt like you brought something to the table. I don't feel like I brought anything to the fucking table when I came in for an interview. I suck at fucking interviewing, dude. And I suck at fucking testing. I'm not good at that shit. I can't make somebody like me that is... I can't talk candidly to a person that has authority over me ever. And I felt like a lot of times in interviews, the guy that was interviewing me or the woman that was interviewing me had authority over me.
Right.
And I could never, I always think about the interview I did at the social work job right when I got out of college, right?
Uh-huh.
I got out of college. I got this interview for the social work place. It was paying $9 an hour. So, or no, 11. It was paying $11 an hour. And it was like a subcontracting place that I think just burns through people. You know, like it just completely just burns through people. And I went in there and I bought this, I got my hair cut, like shaved my head. I bought a Michael Kors dress shirt with like blue lines, like blue squares on it.
Oh, like
white.
gingham?
Like, yeah, it was a dress shirt, and I bought a pair of corduroy black pants.
Wow.
And I bought a pair of fucking shoes from the thrift store that looked like dress shoes that were kind of bootish. And I tucked the fucking shirt into the pants, and I didn't wear a hat to the interview, and I went in.
That's your hair, though.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And
you need to get business casual hair.
Right. I went in, and they sat me down in like a chair that was like kind of, well, they said pick a chair, sort of.
That was probably a test.
And they had like a living room looking like green chair, and it was the chair closest to me. So I thought psychologically, oh, I'll take the first chair that's there because that's the worst chair. And they'll be like, this guy fucking just, he'll jump into the worst situation. Like right here. It's something psychologically in my mind. I thought it made me look less picky or something.
Sure.
And that they would like it. But like, I was not this Brian.
It was like Indiana Jones, or like he chose the cup, the shitty cup. That was that was the secret.
That's what I tried.
I'll have the beanbag chair over there if no one's calling for it. I don't want to be presumptuous.
But I'm sitting in this like green chair that looks like it belongs in like my grandma's living room, and I'm kind of slumped in this chair with my arms on the armrests, and I'm sweating. And this woman and these two women are sitting up on office chairs that are like higher than me, and they're kind of looking down at me. And I don't know who I was at that minute at that interview. Like, I don't know. I am pretty good with people. I'm pretty good at conversations with people. I'm pretty good at talking to people. And I just wasn't anything at that interview. I was not me. And I was unable to make me happen. And it fucking freaked me out. And every interview I did after that was exactly like that. Like that situation... I know this sounds weird, but that situation is like traumatizing to me. It's really hard for me. I can't do it. I have no way. I don't know how I will ever get a job, dude. If this doesn't work out and I have to like go get a real job, I don't even know how I would do it. I'm not going to get hired. I don't know. Like, I don't know how. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be this. I don't know how to be this person that people like to be around and talk to. I don't know how to be this person in that situation. And it fucking weirds me out. And I'm sure there's fucking so many people out there that are in the same position, you know? I don't think I would have been a great employee. That job wasn't like a good fucking fit.
Yeah.
But man, like, it's just hard for me to even... I feel for people who have like the kind of self-confidence that I do. Like, what do they end up doing?
Yeah.
You know, like where do they end up in life? Because I ended up here, luckily. But like,
I mean it's a challenge for a lot of people, and there isn't access to care isn't easily available.
Well, what do you even do? Like, what do they expect you to do if you can't? If you can't interview, then what is your life supposed to be?
Yeah, and I mean, and you're right, and it's unreasonable to expect everybody in there to go, hi everybody, yeah, I love this place, you know. I was listening to the funniest thing on the radio over there today, you know. It was just cracking me up, you know. Like you have to be on and like kiss their ass and, you know, decode their messages on the fly.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's intense.
It's odd. It's just trying to figure out how anybody is ever able to make it to the other side of that, and like how anybody is ever able to be successful in this system is crazy to me, because I'm a person who talks for a living now, you know.
Yeah
And I'm good at talking, and I can interview people, and people like talking to me and hearing me talk, and I think I'm generally a good person. The only skill I have is that I'm a good socializer. But in that situation, I'm not even who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do it. Part of me wants to set up, like, we should set me up for interviews, and I should get training is what I should do. Maybe that's a bit we'll do at some point where we hire somebody to train me.
You want to interview training?
I mean, wouldn't it be something to, because if you saw, Brett, dude,
I don't know how we get it.
If you saw what I look like at a job interview, you would fucking be like, I don't know this person. Like, this is not Brian. Especially when you put me in weird clothes.
Yeah.
The only reason I got the camera job is because I was able to wear flannel and jeans and boots to the interview. And I was like, okay, yeah, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Right. It's me, Murder Brian, if you're for the interview.
Yeah. As soon as you put my ass in dress clothes, when you were talking about, we're going to see the Shark Tank Man, right?
Yeah. Are you going to be
melting down?
I forgot to say this. I did. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but Mr. Wonderful, the billionaire guy from Shark Tank, is doing an event in Columbus next week, and I got free tickets. And they're like real scrupulous, because they called me on the phone, and the lady talked to me and said, business casual attire is required. Is that going to be a problem? And I was like, no, that won't be a problem at all. And then I was like, what's Brian going to wear?
I don't have anything. I don't know.
Can we get you a polo shirt or something?
I guess I could probably go to the thrift store and buy
Get like a Climacool. Get a Climacool polo shirt. Those guys wear that stuff.
I don't know. I don't own any. I don't even, to be completely honest, I don't even know what business casual is, dude. I've never had a job where I needed to know.
No jeans.
None at all?
No.
I mean, I worked at a cable company who wore jeans, and that was dressed up.
That's not you don't do business in shorts or jeans.
Shorts, though.
No. As a businessman, you're supposed to wear weakly built pants to show that your legs are exposed and that people could strike you in them or stab you with their like quill pen. So that's why you wear those like really, you know, thin pants that don't hold up to a rose bush the way that jeans do. And you wear
what about cargo shorts?
Shoes that you can't run away in because they're real slick on the bottom. So you do like the cartoon run where you're just running in place.
I will go turn my.
That's to show you won't run away from the business deal.
What about my North Face shoes? If I turn them in and get new ones without a hole in them.
I mean,
North
you
Face.
have to explain that if you're doing business on the side of a mountain
They're
or like
$130 pair of fucking shoes.
what's not the
dude.
price? I mean,
Oh.
I mean, you're not going to do what business can you do in hiking shoes?
I have boots. I have
Like,
the
Hey, man,
Iron Rangers.
We'll get you like a Jamaican hat or something to wear, like, and then you can just walk around with your hiking
can't
boots
wear-
and be like, "I love the earth, man." You know.
You can't wear a Cleveland Indians hat?
I
like
don't
it's
know if you
problematic,
can
I
wear
understand.
that hat.
Why? Business people wear hats, dude.
No,
Do I
they
need to go
don't.
buy a Titleist hat?
Yes, that would probably work. That would definitely work.
You can go and buy a fucking
They're like,
Titleist
no,
hat.
hey, that guy's wearing a hat. Oh no, it's Titleist. He's fine. He's one of us.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking do it. We get paid before this thing. I can afford.
I'll go with you.
To go and buy fucking business casual clothes. And I will dress business casual for the first time since 2015 when I did an interview and melted down in a green chair that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, I am excited. It's going to be funny to see like what would happen in like the bizarro world where you got slotted into some like handshaking job. You know?
I don't know, man. It would
Imagine if like, what if you were just like, oh, you got to see this fucking house, dude. We fucking gutted the whole thing and flipped it. And you just like, we're going on and just on the streets, people were surrounding you. And you're like, really? It sounds great. And you're like, yeah, I sell houses. My name's Brian Quinby.
I just don't have you know what though? I wonder if I could have been a businessman. If I would have went full tilt businessman, I wonder if I'd have been
Never
good.
go full tilt business.
No, you're not. Businessman is not what. I mean, like, I don't want to be a businessman, but I sort of feel like if I had put all my energy into businessman, maybe I would have been okay at it. I don't really know because I'm not.
Yeah, you don't have any of the skills.
Or
You mean like in another world? Or are you talking about like...
I don't have the brain for it, really. I don't have the mind for business.
Right.
Nothing I ever want to do will ever make money. I
Right.
never think of anything that makes money.
You could reverse engineer stuff. So for you to be a business person, you'd have to be like, man, we could really fuck these people over with a $4 fee on this ticket sale. And then you would go to your boss and be like, let's fuck these people over. You know,
Yeah.
you'd have to like reverse engineer it.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
where like you would be complaining about profit. You'd have to then, you know, make it into profit.
This is from Buff Slot on Twitter.
What is...
Buff Slot.
I like that. It was two words together.
I had a friend who, for the final interview, had to go to a bar with them till at least midnight. And then the final interview was at 6:30 the next morning. The point was to prove that you could do the social parts of the job and abuse yourself for them. So
That's fucking awful. You know what unfortunately happened is someone I'm related to, I'm not going to out them. I was just about to like tell their story, but someone I know, they graduated from college and found a position at a cubicle place where they put their name on the outside and all that stuff.
nice.
But they were 23, 22 or something, and got invited to like cocktail hour and ended up getting a fucking DUI because of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like on the way home, you know, went over a stop sign too fast or something, but got pulled out and got a fucking DUI. And I mean, the expectations of a lot of those jobs is you do go drink.
Yeah.
Like
I would have done anything for a cubicle. The only office job I had was the call center, and it was the desk with the walls on each side and a chair. And it's like, that's not a fucking cubicle. Like, we say cubicle farm so much. Cubicle is actually like an aspiration for a lot of people
That's
who work
true.
in offices because it's hard to get a fucking cubicle these days.
Well, usually you're shared with 4 other people.
Yeah, that's even. I would have loved a fucking cubicle at the call center. Like, whenever I see like on TV, they show a call center and it's like guys in cubicles like kicked back with their feet up talking. I'm like, that ain't a real call center. Like
Oh, I used to do that.
Oh man, I was always sweating and fucking half asleep or pacing around, but I would still never got my own. I never got like my own space.
I didn't
at all.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The worst I ever had was just like these. The desks were like as deep as like a laptop keyboard. Like there was just a keyboard and then the monitors were mounted and you could barely see, like they had little blinders that were basically next to you. And it was just like sitting up against a fucking wall. and having like all of your vision taken away. They're nightmares, dude. Showing up every day and looking at like the rickety construction and the piss poor quality of the materials is fucking infuriating.
I know. Went to an open house at a startup and waited 90 minutes before they placed me in an interview spot. It ended up being over Skype for a position 400 miles away, and the guy didn't have my resume. No phone allowed while waiting because of company secrecy. So he waited 90 minutes without a phone.
Just sitting staring at the wall for an hour and a half.
At a wall for 90 minutes, and then
you got to pay for that time.
Be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have to fucking be there. That's, I interviewed for a tech company over 20 total hours for a job that needed me to relocate cross country, included an 11-hour on-site in which I had to do a project and present to the whole company. After all that, they asked for 3 references.
What?
Yeah. So they did the work, and they presented to the company, and apparently it looked like they were looking to hire this person.
Yeah.
But then they also said, I need 3 references.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, you can do the work in one day in 11 hours straight, but could someone vouch for you?
Somebody actually told me that they on Twitter, and I can't find the post, but they applied for a job at a movie theater, and they made them watch 3 trailers for 3 movies, and then said if somebody came up, they said different kinds of guys, and they said if somebody comes up to the counter and asks you which movie they should see, what would you recommend to them? And I'm like, nobody fucking comes up to the counter. And then people were like, yeah, people do that. And I'm like, those people should be put in jail. Then that's a ridiculous thing to ask. You should know what movie. Brett is dying of tuberculosis across from me currently.
I have allergies.
Yeah. Tuberculosis.
I tried to run earlier today. It was like sipping through a straw.
Okay.
But yeah, the thing about it is that the people that go to movies a lot can be incredibly
needy.
Problem. They can just become a problem very quickly. Someone that relies on movies for their life and they go like every single day and shit and then decide they want to work there. You never know what you're going to get. They could be like, I think the new Jason would be great for kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I doubt that.
Well, I don't understand. This drill for something that probably happens every 6 months. Somebody comes up to the counter and said, hey, movie person, which movie should I see?
Yeah.
Like, they just don't do that. But you're right, though. People that love movies tend to try to get a job at the movie theater. And then they might not understand like really what they're doing at the multiplex. Like, people at the multiplex are looking for something different than people who love films and film criticism.
I mean, and those are a lot of people's like skulls who are completely solid all the way through, are just wandering in there and are like, what's everybody else seeing? People do it all the time.
No.
Yes, they do.
No.
There's a lot of them. You see them.
I can't imagine saying what's everybody else seeing and then just wandering. I mean, I just did that this weekend.
Right.
God bless, by the way. I want to do this right now. God bless you theater workers in the United States of America.
Yeah, this is a troubling time right now.
I went to the Lenox movie theater, AMC movie theater in Columbus, Ohio, to see Avengers Endgame at 6:25 yesterday. And that place was an absolute fucking shambles. And I feel for every person that was working.
What do you mean, like?
I mean, trash piles high above the trash cans. You like
people balancing it on top and shit.
Yes, there was so much.
Take it home. Yeah. Balancing doesn't count anymore. Balancing is canceled.
Balancing fucking sucks. You know what my wife does sometimes? She listens. I hate that she listens now because I'm going to say this and she's going to get hot under the collar about it.
Yeah.
Right? But what she does is, or she used to do, she doesn't do it as much anymore, is when we would have pizza, she would set the pizza box on top of the trash can, and then her and the kid would pile trash on top of the pizza box.
Yeah.
Instead of putting it in the trash. So
folding
I
it up.
I would have to take the pizza box and disassemble this tower and then put that stuff in the trash can and then take the recycling.
Yeah.
And it was just like, this is fucking crazy. Why are we doing this? And at the movie theater yesterday, I saw... It looked like a fucking Dr. Seuss book. It was just like, a small cup with a big thing of popcorn with a bag on top of it, and another cup.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you doing that's so
soda?
hard.
There's like streams of soda pouring off of it, and little Hoozits and Wutzels are catching it in their mouth.
That's impossible to empty at that point. It becomes like a huge problem to empty that.
I mean, as soon as you touch it, you're going to get fucking infected.
I know. And it's all going to fall because it was trash cans with a thing that had a smaller round hole on top, and they were piling things up through that round hole and over. So that lid has to come off of the trash can before you can take the bag out of the trash can. Right. And there was stuff piled all up on the lid, up because there was a column next to the trash can. And they were propping it up against the column as it went up. Yes, they were. And I went in the bathroom. The floor was soaking wet. Completely 100% wet with, like, I guess piss. Maybe not piss, but when people wash their hands, because there were no paper towels in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There was no soap in the bathroom. Gwen said that in the bathroom, people were passing toilet paper under the stalls to get it to each other because there wasn't any left. This is not the fault of the employees of the AMC theaters.
Yeah, we should have, all those nerds going wild like that, we should have brought a pack of bullies in to just fucking set them straight. Someone should have set them straight.
Well, I don't think it's their fault necessarily either. I think they're running.
They do exist,
right? But they're running a business that they don't have enough people working. It's very obvious that they don't have enough people. If all that trash is there, but it's
so long too. It's weird because it seems like the theater was only showing that movie. There
were like 4 other movies. Like Dumbo was there, and nobody was at them. Everybody was seeing the fucking goddamn Avengers. They could have just showed that movie. When I walked into the theater, people were yelling at the theater workers because the movie I was seeing started at 6:25, and they didn't open the doors until 6:20. And you know how those people get about trailers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, and like the theater just recently started doing assigned seating. This is like the first month that they've done it. So I don't even, I mean, you do pick your seats on the site, but also people are just kind of probably going click, click like that and just being done with it.
Yeah.
So like,
they don't realize.
It was mass confusion while the trailers were playing. There was a Star Wars trailer that people were pissed that they were missing. As I walked in, there was a fucking, there's like, before you get to the carpet, there is a section that's tile. And then it goes off two different ways, okay? Left, and you can go left or you can go right. And the tile area was soaking fucking wet and sticky, and there was candy and popcorn, a layer of it, just covering the whole thing.
You need to bring in some extra troops on this.
They should have. I mean,
should have just hired a third party or something.
When I got home, I happened to be looking online just to see what people...
That's awful.
Yeah, I happened to be looking online just to see what like people were saying about it. People were complaining about it, and I want to make sure that I completely 100% say that this is not the fault of the workers at all. This is a management thing. And
resources allocation, all that stuff.
Yeah, well, capitalism does that better than anything else. It's the best way to. But so what happened is, I looked and there are 29 theaters that are going to be open 24/7 through the whole weekend, and I think through part of next week, which is also another problem, I think, because nobody got the job at the movie theater thinking that they were going to work at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
I can guarantee you that there are some people who are making very little bits of money that don't have another job that are being made to work hours that they should never have had to work and that they didn't sign up for.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man. I went to pay for an icy yesterday, and she was like, it took me a minute to get my money out of my pocket. She's like, take your time. I need to breathe. And
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Ran
The place was crazy. It was crazy to me.
It sounds like a real marvel.
It was, yeah, it was great. It's just weird when you think about these like kind of cultural phenomenons that happen, and you never think about the people that are doing like on the 4th of July.
The people that are facilitating
Yeah.
it. You to get to be a little piggy that runs around and destroys everywhere you go.
Right, we don't talk about how on the 4th of July we all get out and we all have a bunch of fun, but the next day, so here we do it on the 3rd. It's called Red, White, and Boom. There's this big fucking celebration where everybody's downtown and they're just kind of like throwing their trash on the ground and doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And if you go walking through downtown the very next day, it's all fucking gone.
Yeah.
And there's no acknowledgement of the people who were actually coming through and sweeping all that stuff up.
Yeah, and digging through all the disgusting trash.
Yeah, yeah.
Piling it up and get rid of it.
It really is important that I'm really glad that people are. I am seeing a lot of people say take care of. I wish you could tip them, the theater workers.
Yeah.
Like there should just even be a tip.
There should be a tip jar.
They should be paid a bonus. How much money is that fucking
movie
theater making from this movie?
And they just get regular. They don't get like combat wages or anything.
No, they probably don't get time and a half. They probably have them all scheduled for 40 hours and not going over, you know? It says nothing here about bonus pay. And movie theaters are a very odd place too, because at movie theaters, like when they are hiring, I applied for a job once at a movie theater, and when they're hiring, they're very upfront about like, you don't expect any days off.
Yeah.
You shouldn't expect any day during the weekend off. We're open on all the holidays. We're open all the fucking time. And you should never, and it always, that job always, they always scared me right out of the interview at movie theater.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
And they're not getting rewarded enough to spend time away from your family or anything.
Yeah. And I'm reading an article in Business Insider right now. I have it in front of me. No bonuses, no nothing.
For what?
I think for the people that are working at this thing. So I think
they reported on that.
Well, they didn't report on it. There's nothing in the thing about a bonus. And AMC, if they were giving a bonus, I think
would brag about it.
Would be bragging like crazy. I'm going to look up AMC Theaters bonus online and see if they're doing a bonus.
Why would they?
They don't have to. Exactly. No, here's latest. Maybe that's a campaign that we should be thinking about.
Yeah, this unfortunately, someone says, when I worked at the theater, people would try to tip me, but I wasn't allowed to accept. I was afraid to tech them because I was almost always visible on security cameras, which sucks.
Yeah.
Ass. I mean, you should be able to hand cash to anybody that you fucking want. Like, that should be a freedom that we have.
Yeah. Well,
put that in the Constitution of Street Fight. You're allowed to give cash to people.
They say that that's the government's fault.
What is?
Like, when I worked at Kroger, they were like, you need to take people's groceries out to their car for them.
Oh, they want to track how much you made, you mean.
But you can't take tips.
Right.
Because the government will come after you.
Right.
That's what they told us. If we took tips, the government would come after us and take the tips away.
Right.
So I took tips. I don't fucking care. Come and get me, government. You know?
Yeah. Try me.
So yeah, AMC, you're on notice. We're looking. Okay. We here at Street Fight are looking to see. We're going to keep check. Let's check every week. Let's check next week when we do our show on the call-in show if they gave a bonus.
Okay.
And if they didn't give a bonus, I want to that's the kind of campaign I could get behind is get
the Avengers.
Because now the theaters are pulling this shit too, where they're like, oh, we don't make any money off the movies anymore because they're charging us so much to see them.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can't make money off of the people coming through for this fucking, you got all these people coming through for this fucking movie.
Yeah.
If you can't figure out how to make money off of it, then why are you in business?
Absolutely.
You know, so they deserve a bonus. If if anybody has any ideas about how to get theater workers a bonus, please let me know. If we can figure out how to do some kind of a viral campaign. I mean, this kind of thing, if they were unionized, they would have some power to do something here. These workers don't really have any power to. They're just expected to like go through this weekend.
Yeah, this is just that maybe they'll get. They're not even gonna get like I Survived Marvel's Endgame weekend T-shirts or anything.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's normally what they do. Is they're like, oh man, that was the boss comes down there. He puts a baseball cap on. To show he's like not business casual, he's casual.
Okay. Titleist though.
Yeah, Titleist cap. He's like, gang, wow, that Marvel Endgame was crazy. I can't believe we made it. I know a lot of you put a lot of extra shifts. Give yourself a round of applause, you know. We got shirts to commemorate this event. Boy howdy, we're not going to forget it. I know that, Everybody tell your shift manager your size. Well, no, actually, it's like we only have large and extra large, so pick between those.
That's why you always think. I mean, that's why they like to give hats and visors.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have a size.
Right.
Throw you a hat or a visor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they deserve. I mean, honestly. They deserve time and a half for the whole goddamn weekend.
They should.
That is just a lot of people filtering in there.
Yeah.
And
constant. I mean, you're talking about constant human, like people expect the public. We're talking about the general public, the worst customers, the worst people on the planet.
Yeah.
Constant for hours on end demanding stuff from you.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking challenging to do.
I know. I mean,
only that's why you like young people have to do it anyways. It's just their youthful spirit can be drained. Their well can be dug deeper into them.
Yeah, I mean, what are they given like probably 15 minutes to clean the theater after a showing, and every single seat has a person in it?
Yeah,
and they're all. I mean, listen,
covered in oil.
I usually throw my trash away at the end, but. Don't fucking ever for a second think that I'm in the majority. Most people just throw it on the fucking floor and leave.
Yeah, that's true. Or just tuck it and then just do an oopsie daisy. Oh, I forgot I left that under the seat. Well, who's gonna know really?
I think I dropped a vape pen in there yesterday, so an employee got something that's nice.
That is probably one plus. Is that like you're like, what is that?
Yeah,
someone dropped a fucking little pint of vodka.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, some guy told me on Twitter because I was bitching about I was going at 6:25, and I was like, so I don't know when to eat dinner. We ended up eating dinner before.
Smart move.
Because it was 3 hours. I was going to, but I don't like eating dinner that early. I like to eat dinner at 7 o'clock. I have a very
particular.
I have a weird thing about dinner that it has to happen at 7 or later. 6:45 or later. I don't like it to happen earlier than that because I'm like, I kind of want to like be done eating. I want it, so it has to be late, right?
Okay.
Like, that's how I think of dinner.
Got it.
Is that weird? What time do you eat?
Whenever. I don't give a fuck, man. Like 4 to 9 p.m. is when I eat dinner usually.
That 4 is... I would never eat at 4.
Sometimes it's just like, let's get a whole bunch of fucking food in us right now and then snack later. Like, just
smart.
Load up. I have more energy sometimes in the afternoon to make more food and then...
I'm trying to be like that, man. I'm trying to be like less regimented in the time. Like, I eat when I get up. I do my thing when I get up that I've talked about. The Soylent and then the
routine
water and shit. And then I usually have a protein bar 3 hours after that. And then I try to eat dinner at like 6 or 7 every day. And I try to keep it that way all the time. I don't like fucking with it. I don't like to do anything different. But I want to be more laid back about it because dinner ends up being a huge meal for me because I call it dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like dinner has to have a certain amount of stuff.
Oh, yeah, like sides and...
Yeah, it's like, okay, well...
You drink a big glass of milk?
I don't drink...
No. And then when you finish your milk, dinner's over, right?
I drink a pop for dinner. That's when I drink my one pop per day for dinner. Lately, it's been Baja Blast because they put that in cans.
Wow. I also found out they had the diet version, so I was excited about that.
Yeah, so I drink my pop with dinner, and so yesterday it was like, oh god, I could eat at 5 o'clock, which is basically breakfast time.
Or just eat like a bunch of oatmeal or something.
Yeah, or I could eat at 10 when I get out of this fucking movie,
which is going to be like 2 donuts with a hamburger in the middle.
Right, I would be fucking so...
A Luther burger.
Yeah, I would be dying of hungry by that time. So we ate before, but somebody... First of all, Vrunt, who is the funniest dude in the world, Nate, he told me to sneak a sandwich in, which I said I
Smart.
didn't know how I would sneak a sandwich into a movie.
Cargo pants.
He said you just walk in with it. They don't fucking care. Which I could have probably gotten away with, walked in with it because they don't care. But some guy told me he never goes, he wears cargo pants to the movies every time, and he never goes with less than 2 beers in his pocket.
Yeah, that's smart.
So like just fucking cracking open a cold one during a movie is such a funny, it's the most Street Fight idea I could ever think of. Is somebody just bringing pocket beers into the movie.
Now we're enjoying this movie.
Said he likes to wait till a really loud part to open.
Just crack it. That makes sense.
So
that's a smart move. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, I'd love to eat a sub or something. I do like the dine-in movie theaters. I'm real big into that.
Food's so bad though.
It's not the worst.
They don't make good food at the movie theaters. You wouldn't fucking eat at Applebee's.
I wouldn't. I know.
And now you're saying, but the food at that's the same.
It's just because it has the movie in front of me.
That's true. I hate them because people talk. People feel like they can just talk at those dine-in movies. I went to one that had actual fucking tables that you sat like around facing the screen to see, but like there weren't, back to the screen seats.
Right.
It was just kind of sitting around and looking out like this, and people talked through the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, that's
because they felt like they were at dinner, and it was like blah 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 blah, and it's like ugh, okay.
No, the dine-in now is like the lazy person experience. You're just like eating inside of a giant lazy boy. And they're just like, I go there because I don't get I don't get the zucchini fries and shit like that. Like I don't ever get that stuff. So that's what I like to get at the movie theater. It's dumb shit like that, like fried food.
Sticks.
Yeah, bullshit like that.
Mozzarella sticks.
Yeah,
mozzarella sticks are good everywhere.
Right,
unless they fry
it's
all
a
the
safe,
cheese out.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do the dine-in theaters because it's like when we were on that airplane. I told Katie this story not too long the other day when we got on the airplane to fly home from Boston, and this fucking horrible human being sat down and opened up a fucking Tupperware of microwaved Brussels sprouts.
Yep,
and he had a teen son that was like, he probably wanted to move out. But because
that was his teen son?
His teen son.
It smelled awful immediately.
And his wife, and they were just like, I think his wife probably would have divorced him in a fucking...
She was close.
Yeah, because me and Brett were bitching about it, and everybody started like, fuck, man.
What is that?
What is that? Is somebody fucking cutting heaters in here? Like, is somebody fucking laying ass? I would never lay ass in an airplane.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Oh, I do.
Of course you would.
I don't mind.
You will lay ass anywhere. I am fucking sensitive, and I'll hold it in until I get off the airplane, or I'll go in the bathroom and let the fucking thing go.
Okay.
But
polite. Once again, the polite guide to farting.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to do that because, my family my dad, so Jason's ass used to fart so loud, right? And I used to fart kind of loud, and we fucking thought farting was the funniest thing in the world.
It still is.
It is funny. We thought it was so hilarious, and my stepmom would get so hot under the collar about farting.
Oh.
And us giggling about it that, there was one point where she said, if you're going to fart, go in the bathroom. That's what you're supposed to do. And I always thought that was, so crossing a line. And I was like, nah, man, this is some authoritarian shit. I shouldn't have to go to the bathroom to fart.
Yeah.
People farting all over the place.
Yeah, that's the world. It's a fart-filled world.
Get me to get up and... if you're at work, do you get up and run to the fucking bathroom so you can fart?
If you don't want to get caught.
I mean, that's how I am. I'm like... Please, I never fart, and I have never farted in my life.
My favorite is when you do a drum cadence on your butt cheeks, and then you finish with the fart. That's the best way to publicly fart, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell how kind of repressed I am because I never, like Jason, when he started doing a show, Brett will cut a fucking fart. He doesn't care. Loud one. And Jason giggles every fucking time. I try to ignore it because I'm like, I'm just not going to acknowledge this guy's over here fucking cutting farts, man.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Well, my shit don't stink.
Say that. He's like, I mean, you're right. And one way yesterday, I went in Gwen's room. I sat down and started talking to her. And my tummy was like gurgling. And I was just like, I just got to get this one gasser out of here and I'll feel good. So I did. But the day before, I fucking had a steak for dinner.
Okay.
And I fucking messed her room was like uninhabitable.
Toxic waste zone?
Yeah, we had to open a window and just fucking leave. I was laying in her bed. She's like, why'd you come in here and do that?
Yeah.
Why do you come in here and do this? And I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't think it was going to be like that. I forgot about the whole steak thing. I apologize. I love you. I'll never do it again.
Yeah. I've never had that ability. There's another friend of ours that can make a whole house full of people leave for a little bit.
You have loud boys, though.
I do.
I love them.
Yeah,
I love your loud-ass boys.
Thanks. I
You're
appreciate that.
I mean, because that's one of the things about you. Like, if we could list, like, 3 or 4 things that I admire about Brett. One of them is his name. I always wanted to steal his name because he has the best name in the fucking world. 2, he's incredibly good looking, which is unfair because I have to stand next to him. And 3, he can fart and not like feel any sense of shame, which I cannot do. Like do you understand that like probably for the first 3 to 4 years that we knew each other, you probably never heard me fart or even say that I did. You might have smelled it. And I didn't admit it, and I held it in. My wife didn't fucking hear me fart for a really long time. Body shit is so fucked up to me. I hate everything this thing does.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I hate it all. I hate peeing. I hate pooping. I hate farting. I like having sex, but I hate having, like, it's one of those things where it's like, why do I need to do this? You know, the sex thing.
Sure.
Where it's like, it feels so good. You know, I love this. I know people are going to get all turned off by this. Oh, I love this. I love having sex. But then in my mind, I'm like, well, that's so gross what you're doing, though. You know, it's so
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm just weird.
It works.
Just don't like anything. I don't like bodies. I don't like to think about what's inside what's inside of this.
Right. Right.
I'm grossed out by it. If I feel my heart beating, I always thought it was odd that when I get stoned and I can hear my heart beating, it makes me nervous because I'm like, oh, heart's beating. That's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Shouldn't know about that.
Yeah. I just hate having a body, I guess. I wish I was like a floating head.
I think that's coming in the future.
All the good stuff happens right here. That's where most of the good stuff happens.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me if that's a real thing.
What?
Right? If like people who like are weird about going to the bathroom and any body function things.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people.
What that means.
Well, I mean, you know, me and my wife aren't I do fart in front of her, but we don't do like the let me come in, run in the bathroom while you're shitting real quick.
No,
we don't do like that kind of stuff. You got to keep a little bit of it like behind the curtain, I guess. You know?
I would never let my wife see me dump. My daughter recently just took a video of her face using the bidet for the first time, and I was like, she's like, want to see it? And I was like, no, I don't want to see that video. It's gross. By the way, I might have to get rid of the bidet.
Why did you rot a hole into the bottom of your fucking bathroom?
I did it perfectly.
Okay.
No problem. Landlord came in and saw it and made an addendum to my lease and said, like, you know, you might want to make sure your insurance covers flooding for those pieces. So I think my landlord's annoyed with the bidet, and my wife's going to gauge it tomorrow and be like, dude, if this is a problem for you, we'll just get rid of it. Which will suck because I love it. You know, I didn't take a shower last night.
Wow.
That's the first night in many, many days. Years. 3 years. Ever since I got fat, I take a shower every single day because...
Backdoor?
Doo-doo stuff.
Yeah.
Just, I try as hard as I can, and this changed everything. I don't have to take a shower, so that's good for me. Well, I think we did. I tried to get us a long show. I tried to get us a fun show. I hope people enjoyed the fun show, listening to me gab about my weird neuroses most of the time.
Yeah.
I just admire anybody who has... Brett's the first person I ever met that had confidence in his body. I never met anybody else that, like... Everybody I know, have you ever heard any of our friends fart?
No, I don't.
Of any time you've ever heard any of our mutual friends fart?
I guess not.
That's because none of us have confidence.
I guess I'm the weird. I'm just like, the people think I'm psycho.
It's true. I
think they're funny if they do them. Even if they smell bad, I still think that's fucking hilarious. It's like it's better than like watching TV.
Even if they think you're psycho, dude, I chalk it up to confidence, and I think confidence
There's
is
some
great.
really straight-laced, like, dink, like, dual income, no kid, like, really high social climbers that I have made, like, bathe in my shit fumes before.
Yeah, I mean, you don't fucking ever care. Like, you don't care, like, live shows, you be standing in the green room cutting gassers and stuff. Somebody took a dump at the New York show.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to shake their fucking hand. In the green room?
Uh-huh.
That means somebody in the green room felt confident enough to do a duke.
Sure.
And I was like, I'll shake your hand, because I would
What
never
would they
do
expect?
That. What?
What would they expect? Like someone to come in and...
Yell at them for taking a shit in there? Can you imagine getting yelled at for taking a shit?
No, I mean, it happens, I'm sure, but...
I would have yelled at the person.
Why?
Because it smells.
Oh.
It's the green room. Go out there with the other people and... Go poop in that bathroom.
I don't notice.
Don't
I really don't.
Sully this bathroom.
I don't notice.
This is a green room bathroom. I got to whiz before I go on stage. I want to smell your fucking
People
shit.
stink. It doesn't bother me.
It bothers me. That's why I take a shower every day. I don't ever want to smell bad. When we did the Patton thing, I fucking took a shower last night and I took a shower this morning. I skipped the day before, but I took a shower last night and this morning. And just before we go, just to get a window into my fucking insane brain. Maybe this is my wife too. Last night she said, so you're going to walk to do the Patton interview? And I was like, yeah, one of the bonus things to doing shows at home is that I can live my normal life and then go do it. And it makes me feel more like me. And I really like that. And like, this is kind of a big deal to me. This is a guy that I kind of admire, and I'm nervous about it. So I'm just going to, like, take my regular walk, because I walk by that hotel anyway when I do it, and go over and do the interview and then walk home. And she was like, you sure you want to do that? And I was like, why not? She was like, I mean, your shoes have, like, a little hole in them. Like, you're not going to, like, dress up to do this interview? And I was like, I wasn't going to. She's like, Brett's going to dress up. And I was like, I don't think he's going to. And she was like, I know Brett. Brett's going to dress up. I mean, if it was me, I would dress up. This is an interview. This is very important. And I was like, is he going to, do you think he'll be mad if I don't dress up? And I went through hell for 45 minutes, like an actual anxiety attack, laying in the car with my wife, trying, and like I kept saying shit like, well, nobody asks for me and then expects a guy that's dressed up. Like,
yeah.
Street fight isn't like a thing where we would be dressed up or we would be expected. I don't think Patton Oswalt cares what I wear.
It would, I think it would creep him out if I showed up in like business casual.
I don't know what she
like
wanted
French blue shirt, like a business interview outfit.
I think
like,
she thought,
hey, Patton, great to link up with you today. I think we're going to have a great results when it comes to this cohesion we got going here.
I thought she thought stage clothes, I think is what she was maybe saying.
Oh, got it.
But even then, it's like,
I did my hair and like trimmed my beard and shaved and shit. Like, is that dress up nowadays?
No.
That's just what a girl's got to do to look good.
She probably meant jeans and boots and flannel and...
Oh, she
nice
like the.
shirt.
Are you gonna wear
Like,
the
she
costume? Are you gonna wear?
Costume, yeah. She wants what I wear on stage at shows, not my long shorts and
Oh.
a t-shirt and with
She's
thermal under it.
she's not confident in your long shorts, huh?
Nobody is, except for me. I think they're great. These are
Yeah,
great
I
shorts.
can't even see your knees.
Yeah, Patton didn't mention the shorts. I was gonna make sure I asked him about the shorts before the end of the show, but it wasn't that kind of interview. But I should have.
You could have. He would have been fine with it.
Would have been important to ask him about the short. We'll ask more often. Just remind me when we're doing an interview thing to ask about the shorts.
Right?
Yeah,
we need to get everybody's take. I didn't bring the vodka either. He was drinking some fine wine, but I should have brought the vodka to have him try.
Yeah. Well, it was just so weird. Like, what would he have, like, in my wife's mind, I think she thought of it like when she gets a job interview, and it freaked me out. Her saying it freaked me out. It's like, but I know more about my thing than she does, obviously. You know what I mean? But, like, my self-confidence is so fucking low.
I know that anybody can say something.
That you can send me down a spiral just by asking me what would be kind of a normal question, but I just don't think you need to dress up to do Street Fight. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
I made the right decision. I wore the long shorts.
Now Katie's got me second guessing myself. Maybe I should have worn like a tie or like a suit or something.
No,
like,
she thought
like I'm ready for Letterman.
No, she thought you would dress like you do on stage and shit. You would do the like nice jeans and the nice shoes and
that's
shirt.
That's all the time. That's not just for stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
just wore a t-shirt. I just wore a t-shirt.
No, you looked great.
I wore a long sleeve t-shirt. I didn't really get all dolled up.
Yeah. What she thought we were going to get. She thought you would get all dolled up and make me look like a fool in my long shorts and t-shirt.
And but then, again, in like fresh pressed khakis.
And then Patton would be like, "You guys couldn't even fucking get dressed up for for this interview."
Like, I guess I'm nobody, huh?
I guess I'm fucking nobody.
I guess we're the same. I guess I didn't get earned the right to wear these athletic shorts. You can wear them too. Okay, you can just say you're doing my job. It's 2019.
2019, people wearing fucking athletic shorts everywhere.
Yeah, haven't even done the work.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. I was like,
you're interviewing for me.
I don't think he sees this as like I don't think he sees Street Fight as something of two like really well dressed men.
No.
Like show up to things and are like, oh, I'll have a expensive scotch. I was like, that's not even like the brand of the thing.
No, I did my run today in a long sleeve Deadpool like moisture wicking shirt and a pair of basketball shorts that are just covered in like joint burn holes. That was like running down the street. And I just kept thinking like Patton like comes to places like Columbus and sees someone like that. It's like the time you got a flat tire and you had no shoes on. What happened? Yeah.
So I go to drop my wife off at work Tuesday through Friday. Every Tuesday through Friday, I drop her off. And sometimes during the summer, I just fucking get out of bed and go. And I was one morning wearing Adidas. I wear these Adidas shorts to bed, the same ones every night, gray with black stripes. And I had an AJ Styles Bullet Club t-shirt, which at the time was very cool. It said something in Japanese it said AJ Styles in Japanese across the top, but it had two guns and a bunch of bullets and shit on it. And I dropped her off. I wasn't wearing shoes.
Yeah, you're just like waking up, drop her off.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to pull
it's
some
legal.
Barefoot is legal. I wasn't trying to pull some barefoot is legal shit. I just was tired and it's early in the morning. I dropped her off. I get there. This motherfucking truck, this grocery truck thing, drives. I'm turning. He's pulling forward, and I'm honking and shit, and he's not stopping. He drives over my tire. Like, his tire goes up above and flattens my fucking tire. And I didn't have a tire to switch.
Right.
You know? And I didn't bring my cell phone with me. So I didn't have a phone either. And I was just like standing outside. The car didn't have tires is what it was. It was the kind of car that didn't have a spare tire in the back. And I'm standing outside my wife's work. I can't drive. I'm wearing no shoes, shorts, and a shirt with a bunch of fucking guns all over it. And I'm like trying to figure out what to do. Finally, I just go up to my wife's work and talk to the security guard. And I'm like, can you call my wife so I can get a, like get a ride home and get this thing taken care of? It was so, it was humiliating. Yeah. That's why I wear shoes now. That might also be like a big shoes thing for me. Because I was
caught shoeless.
Yeah, I got caught shoeless standing in my wife's fucking work at an office building.
Yeah.
In the middle of downtown Columbus without fucking shoes on and a pair of sweatshorts. It was terrible.
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I have this pair of slippers that have like an outdoor bottom on them, but like I do not wear them outdoors. Like I just don't want them to be outdoor shoes. I just like wearing the hard bottom in the house.
Outdoor indoor people are so weird.
So we were going to pick up my wife, and I had like 2 kids with us, extra kids, and I just walked out in my slippers and was like, we're gonna go pick her up, whatever. We go. We drop off the other kids. We're running late. So, like, let's go get something to eat. And we pull up, and I'm like, I'm wearing slippers right now. And I'm just like, I probably feel closest as I could to you.
Yeah.
Where it just feels like a hole in the earth is, like, opening up and, like, swallowing me down into it. Where I feel like I just want to get away from that place, or that, like, I can't move. And I'm like, I can't walk around in this place wearing fucking slippers. And then I was like, you know what? There's a million people a day that I see walking around wearing slippers and sleep pants. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I just like walked in my slippers and sheepishly like stood in places where there was like a shadow. Like I just would like find the dark corners, and then made my wife go get the food and everything. So nobody saw me in my house shoes.
So funny you like thinking about you being at like a McDonald's or something and apologizing because you're in slippers.
yeah.
Counter, like,
exactly.
I'm sorry, I didn't respect this place the way they should have been. I'm in public. I am apologizing.
I'm not very presentable right now. I'm not as dressed up as, my friend's wife expects me to be.
Hey, Katie will freak you out sometimes just with a concern that out of left. Like, she'll just get me.
It's kind of implanted in there.
Yeah.
See where you take it.
The dress up.
Here, run with this.
Yeah, just run with this in your fucking crazy ass mind. What's going to happen in your fucking big, dumb, crazy head if I say this? She was really trying to be helpful.
Oh, I know.
And she's just trying to put on a nice business suit.
Those are just probing questions, like, really figure out what's it's going to look like tomorrow. She's trying to help you, like, get a concrete idea of what your day is going to be like, and, all that. She's
just a normal person that doesn't understand that her husband is like not like can't handle normal.
Well, she challenges you. She's just not going to let you get away with it.
Yeah, she does. I mean, it's weird. I wish I could handle like normal questions without it turning into a downward shame spiral like every time, because I did consider putting the jeans and boots and flannel on today and just wearing it and going in and being uncomfortable because she brought it up, and then I started thinking like, first the other weird thing that I did was like, are people judging me for not like dressing up more? Is her saying that something that she heard from somebody else who said Brian doesn't wear the jeans anymore? That Brian should, like, what's up with him? Is he depressed that he only wears sweat shorts now? And I'm like,
has he given up?
Yes, kind of on the pants front.
On uncomfortability.
Yeah, I just want to be comfortable. I mean, I walk all day. I don't want to do that in jeans and boots. Yeah. It's crazy.
Maybe we need to get you some Stuntman jeans that have like action panels sewn into them with like. So ugly, no, I mean you can do kicks. You can do like scissor kicks in them and shit.
Yeah, but like Dean Ambrose has those.
Okay.
And they're ugly.
Oh.
Like they don't look. If you could get some that look like raw denim that I could
Okay.
roll up the bottom stylishly like I do before I go on stage, maybe
Okay.
I'll look into that. But in this case, it's like I like the long shorts. I like the long Nike shorts. I like the Adidas shorts. I even have this one pair of long shorts.
You like the Bloods and the Crips, like you just every.
Well, I mean, I just like
I
gangs in
love
general.
DC. I love Marvel.
I do though. I love gangs in general.
I mean, I'm like
DC,
Star Wars, Star Trek. I'll take both, please.
Me, yes. Well, not
Star Trek movies.
You know what made me really proud? Actually,
and new Star Wars movies, right?
I've never seen any of them.
Oh, I thought you saw one. You saw the one.
I've seen Attack of the Clones and Return of the Jedi.
Didn't you see Solo?
I did see. I've seen Solo and Rogue One.
Solo's.
I feel like I didn't need to see anything else to see those.
That movie looked like a cam.
It was bad.
That was a dark movie. Like that was like,
movie.
what the fuck, man? It just felt like looking on like a really small TV, like I used to watch. Like in
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it on the big screen. Wait, did we watch it together? Didn't we?
We didn't. No.
Oh, I watched it with your kid, maybe.
I don't think so.
We saw it with like Jurassic Park.
Oh, that wasn't Solo. You're thinking of the wrong movie.
I did see Solo too.
We saw like The Purge
and Jurassic
Park.
Wow.
Jurassic World and the first Purge.
Oh, I did see Solo for sure.
But yeah, no, I've only seen Attack of the Clones and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, true fan.
Well, I don't care about it. We're just talking to the kid. I mean, look, we usually do a call-in show, so this can be as long as we want it to anyway. I'm not trying to rush out the door here.
Jason probably is.
Jason would like to. Sorry, Jason. I'm just me and the kid yesterday at the movies. They played a trailer for the new Star Wars, which they're calling the last one, which I don't believe even for a fucking second.
The last Star Wars?
The new Star Wars is called the Rise of the Skywalker.
Oh.
And they are saying that that's going to be it. No more new Star Wars after that. Unless it's like an another like Solo. But they're not even making those anymore. So they're saying this is it for Star Wars. The only Star Wars you're going to get from here on out is on the Disney app that they're making. They're going to have some TV shows about like side characters from Star Wars. Don't ever. I mean, I bet you within a year they announced the next trilogy of Star Wars movies. So my kid, during the trailer, like when I'm watching a trailer for these new Star Wars movies, I'm like, this looks fucking neat, man. Like, it just looks cool. It's like these whole big new worlds. It's like a bunch of stuff I've never seen before.
Robots.
But having not seen the movies, I don't care. And like, my daughter was like, it doesn't even look good. You know, she's like, whatever. I don't care about this movie. And we're talking after the movie a little bit. And it's like, it feels like you have to watch too much stuff to get into Star Wars at this point. So
yeah, it's not like as easy as like Marvel Endgame.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch, you only have to watch like 18 movies for that
21.
one. 21 movies.
It's the 21st in the series. But you really could have just got by watching the Avengers and Age of Ultron and Infinity War.
Right.
You wanted to watch Endgame. But you would have got a lot more out of. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Marvel movies started at a time where I was going to see every blockbuster movie that came out.
Yeah.
It was during a summer where I had been kind of into weirder movies and shit. And then there was this summer where I didn't have to work and I was like, I'm going to go see every one of the blockbusters I've never seen. I've never seen most of them. It was actually kind of a bummer I didn't get to tell Patton I love Big Fan. Have you ever seen Big Fan?
Oh, I haven't, but I know it.
It fucking rocked. Like, I was into stuff more like that.
Yeah, you should have said that.
During this whole summer, that movie's so great. I'm going to fucking message him and now I'm going to start annoying him in DMs.
You're like, hey, come back in town. I'll dress up next time.
Yeah, but but the Marvel movies came out. The first Marvel movie came out during a summer where I just kind of decided I was going to see every single big movie that summer. I don't know why. It was, and that was maybe
Lots of free time?
there was, and
You weren't walking?
I was waking up and smoking weed every day, and then walking out of my house to the movie theater at 10:30 in the morning, and watching a movie, and then walking home from the movie. Like I was walking, but I was walking to the movie theater instead, and I was getting high all day, which is not something I do now, and I was just kind of like aimless at that time. That was the year that I think kind of fucked me up for like movies and entertainment and shit, because like I watched all the blockbuster movies after like skipping them for a long time, and I was like, these are actually fun, because I think if you're not like watching them all the time, if you're not watching action movies all the time, or you're not watching these Marvel movies all the time, popping in and seeing one of them, like if you went and saw Infinity War, you'd be like, God damn, that was fun,
Right.
I kind of enjoyed that. But I did that for the whole summer, and I liked all the movies because I'm weird, and I like everything I see the first time at a movie theater.
Yeah, and if it's big and loud.
Yeah, and that's when I just decided, like, this is my life, man. I like these movies now.
I'm a blockbuster guy.
I'm a big blockbuster guy. I like big fucking gigantic movies. I like party music, because that was also like when I quit listening to things like Radiohead and stuff like that, where it was just like, this shit is too hard to grab a hold of. I'll just listen to like what, the Cars. That was when I started listening to a lot more classic rock, because it seemed so easy and it seemed so universally accepted. And I've kind of got past that. But yeah, there was just this period of my life where like I quit watching good movies. I quit watching. I mean, I watch all the prestige TV shows, but I don't think they're great. I don't think they're like brilliant pieces of art. You and Matt Christman have done enough to break me of that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I mean, but it is just a thing to sell commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fun, but they're not important.
Right. Right.
They're not any more important. Like, people were, for a period, saying, like, why would you read a book when you could watch, like, Breaking Bad or The Sopranos?
Yeah, I mean, I found out it was like, oh, have you seen that? And I'd be no. And then they'd be like, oh, okay. And then go on, we could talk about a million other things. But then, like, someone would be like, yeah, I've seen that. And like, oh, remember this part when they just, and like, they can go off all about it, but I'm not missing out on anything.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I'm trying to take, because I've been so immersed in kind of mainstream movies and shit like that, I'm trying to take recommendations more from people and just doing it, just watching the movie, because like I don't feel like I'm like allocating my time, my entertainment time, to the most effect. Like, you can watch a bunch of bad shit if that's what you enjoy, and I do. But boy, I feel like maybe I should
see something inspirational or like stuff. Really well done.
Yeah, I mean, because I just don't watch anything good. And,
yeah.
Every movie I see is bad.
Yeah, I've been like also. And this has been a long time, but I've trained myself to stop being like, I'm not in the mood for this. I'm just like, I said I want to see this. I put it on my fucking list. Or someone recommended it. Like, I'm just going to turn it on and watch it and go for the fucking ride. Like, and I'll be, and I'm talking about, these are all like award-winning movies, that I'm like trying to figure out which one to watch and wasting so much time. It's just like, I watch it and figure out for myself,
Right, and a lot of times I'm not in the mood for this is because it's a more difficult movie, or it's a sad movie, or it's a movie without a lot of hope in it.
Yeah.
And like, those are valuable experiences. I mean, I remember watching Requiem for a Dream and being like, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah.
But it also felt like I won in the end. Like, I watched this and I made it through it, and it was great. It's just kind of the same way Gwen, when I take her to see a horror movie, I took her to see Us, and she also saw the new Halloween. Like, she's gotten very into horror movies. When we're on vacation, there will be a Gwen show. I'll get her to talk about it a little bit. But when it's over, inevitably, the thing she says to me, it wasn't that scary.
Yeah.
And it like just, I know that it scared her, but she just like wants to prove like, no,
Well,
I'm older, and it like wasn't actually that scary
right.
for old kids like me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it takes a while to understand that it's fun to be, how fun it is to be scared sometimes.
My niece is really into like all of the hardcore horror movies. Her dad took her to see It when it came out, and it fucking grabbed her. I mean, she has always been, I should have her on too sometime, because she's always been like really fascinated with death and stuff, which is strange. You don't see a lot of kids, like, I mean, my daughter,
she was funny. She was like 5 or 6 years old, and she would say, hey, mommy, if we go grab that squirrel and squeeze it really hard, blood and guts will come out of its eyes, right?
Yeah.
They're filled with blood and guts.
She saw It. And then she was like, now she's like, she wants me to take her to a concert with a mosh pit really bad, which I'm going to do, obviously. And I took them to see Us. She wants to see this next movie that sounds really scary, that I don't know who's going to take her because her mom won't take her. Her dad doesn't go to the movies very much. I am not.
I can do it.
Fucking seeing this movie because it looks scary.
I can do it.
I can't think of what it's called, but she is just, you should let her know that you would go see it, because it's one that I'm just like, it's about like a woman ghost. Hold on. I'll get you the name of it so you know.
Yeah, I'll do it. Is it out already?
It is coming. The posters are all up in the theater. It's a big summer movie.
Those horror movies, they just pump out so many horror movies. People love them.
Yeah, they that movie Ma, I might go see. Did you see that? About this, it's called The Curse of La Llorona.
Oh, okay.
And it's, I'm going to read you a little bit. In 1970s Los Angeles, the legendary ghost La Llorona is stalking the night and the children. Ignoring the eerie warning of a troubled mother, a social worker, and her own kids are drawn into a frightening supernatural realm. Their only hope of surviving La Llorona's deadly wrath is a disillusioned priest who practices mysticism to keep evil at bay.
Wow.
And
sounds frightening.
Trailer did make it scary. Actually, the trailer for fucking Ma is about a lady that meets these teens, and they ask her to buy them alcohol. So she buys them alcohol, and she's like, "Why don't y'all come to my house and party?" And they go to her house and party, and then she becomes like a total creep and starts stalking them in real life. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks scary as fucking hell, man.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's Octavia Spencer is Ma.
Oh.
And she is really fucking creepy in that movie.
Yeah, my general take for movies is I will just wait a few years, and then like whatever people are still talking about. Like if a movie is good and someone brings it up later, then that cements in my mind that people remembered something about it and weren't just watching it because it was the newest thing out.
I mean, that's really smart, especially with these Marvel movies that, I was kind of talking about Joss Whedon because he posted some dumb thing about politics
Bernie
or something.
Sanders, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just kind of talking about how like he fucking made the first Marvel movie that made me think these movies suck, which was Age of Ultron.
Right.
And he made the Justice League, which I didn't hate that fucking movie. I felt like it was just another comic book movie, but it didn't get the DC tone at all. It just felt like another Marvel movie to me. And so
I like Justice League, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was like, I like the tone of the Zack Snyder DC movies. Like, I enjoyed Batman versus Superman and the first two Superman movies.
Mm-hmm.
I liked those fucking movies. But then started talking to people about the Marvel movies and realized like nobody remembers these things.
Yeah.
Like, these things are just like, you watch them, you get done, you go away. But when they come out, they seem so important. Like, it feels like everybody...
Yeah.
It's crazy how they're able to get even somebody like me who feels like I'm pretty hip to, like, advertising and shit like that. And
you want to be on the crowd.
Well, the thing is, it feels like, well, if I don't know about it, I can't talk to anybody about it. But it's like, why do we always have to be talking about movies? It's such a teenager thing to think that you have to see a movie because everybody's going to be talking about
it is shorthand, and it's taken over completely our culture. I mean, people are wearing superhero stuff under all of their clothing, all their underwear, all of their
that's depressing.
Athletic gear, like all of the, pens, pencils. They wear a Captain America shirt underneath their business shirt, and then like they unbutton it and look at it in the mirror when they're using the restroom.
I don't want to think that adults are wearing superhero underwear at all.
They definitely are.
I think that
very popular underwear.
Really?
Yeah, of course. People are.
I do see like the whole body pajama suits.
I would say, I see the t-shirts, all of the gear every time I go. I mean, it's taken over everything, it feels like. And it is people that, like I said, there's just not, like, there's no Luke, I am your father. There isn't anything that has come from these that is really like everybody can, like, remember that part? Like, I can't think of any that,
like, I am Iron Man, when he said I am Iron
sure,
Man at the end of Iron Man.
Yeah, Hulk Smash is pretty popular, but that was before.
Right. Well,
like, I don't hear people say anything that is like, oh, that's from that movie. It's like Harry Potter, I feel like, gets referenced way more than the Marvel shit.
Too much. Well,
yeah.
There's a large amount of Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, no, like, they're working on it.
They're still making those movies. The Beast movie or whatever
it's
called. My daughter never liked Harry Potter. She liked Percy Jackson for one movie.
Yeah.
And then was like, I don't care about that. We were talking about when we were younger, or when my daughter was younger, going to the movies with kids. I was talking to Drew Toothpaste about this, actually, about going to the movie with kids. He was like, I like to sit in the back of the theater so I can turn the brightness all the way down on my phone and just look at my phone. And I said, I have a super low tolerance for kids movies. Like, I can't stand them. I feel like trapped when I'm watching them. I also have a new theory about kids movies, about the kids movies where they're like, there's a little something in there for adults. That those movies are almost entirely for adults and kids don't grab onto them the same way that we think they do. Like, I don't see a lot of kids that are like super into like Up or The Incredibles or anything, or they're mostly into really shitty, bad
I know some kids
movies.
Incredibles hit everybody.
Maybe The Incredibles is
that's something. Yeah,
I might be
Up for sure. No kid likes Up.
Right.
That's like a Hallmark card. That's just for sappy, sentimental old people.
Well, I was just saying with like Gwen and shit, it feels like they liked stuff that no adult could ever like. They liked Hannah Montana. They like, that's the stuff they really, really liked. My nieces and Gwen did. Like, they really, and I think that those movies, those kids movies like The Incredibles and Up and stuff like that are specifically designed so that for adults, so adults will be like, oh, I gotta take my kid to see this movie.
I don't know. I gotta defend Pixar and say they do like some pretty heartwarming stuff that anybody of any age can make sense of it and find a lot of meaning in them.
Right? Do you think
it's really talented artists? Do
you think that children become super fans of that in the same way that they do like My Little Pony or Barbie? Because Gwen never. I guess there
you
was
won't have any tolerance for it. You would never put it on.
Actually, I did though. When I was stay-at-home dadding, I would put shit on for her, and I would just put whatever she wanted on. And
did they do Nemo?
We never really the Pixar
Nemo.
Did,
yeah, that was fucking crazy.
But she never watched that movie.
Cars was fucking huge.
She liked Dumbo, Cinderella. She liked all the princess movies.
Yeah,
and then she liked Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place, Jessie. These just really loud, like Saved by the Bell type TV shows is what she bought way more into that than she did the Pixar stuff, which me and Katie took her to all the Pixar movies when they came out. Like, we took her to all of them. We saw WALL-E. We saw all the ones from when she was... And I feel like I remember seeing WALL-E and being like, god damn, that was well, we're leaving, and me and Katie are like, God damn, that was like a good movie. That was really interesting. And Gwen was like, I thought it was boring. And I was like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, not all animation has to be for children as well. I mean, it's not immediately children. That's like saying video games are only for children too.
Right, but I thought those movies, I guess those movies are made for families.
Yes.
More than they're made for just like kids' movies.
Right. Kids' movie is more like the
Mr.
really
Peabody
cynical.
I took Gwen to see that. It was horrible. You mean
Charlotte watched that one a few times, but it was like before she had like a personality. Yeah. I don't remember it.
I mean, they just tend to like the
JoJo Siwa.
Yes. Charlotte watches some pretty junky crap.
Yeah, she's been into some crap.
And Gwen had this fucking DVD called Barbie Swan Lake that was one of the worst animated things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
She watched it 1,000 times and always wanted to see it. And I always just assume like, just kids like crap.
Yeah, kids do love the worst stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff they really like is something that as a parent, you can't get into.
I guess like, that's what I'm trying to say.
I got to tell Erica to like stop shit talking what she's watching all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you either have to like shut it off and say it's unacceptable. I mean, she thinks like she's guiding her thinking about it, but I'm like, just, let her watch. I mean, if you don't, it's annoying. It doesn't make any sense, but just let her fucking watch it,
Right. Yeah. Because turning it off and saying it's unacceptable is like one of those things. It's like, if it's not offensive and it's not bad, it's just, you're just kind of being a dick.
Yeah. You're like Caillou. Caillou really sucks. Like every parent that has to sit through Caillou, it sucks. But this is also, their kids are at an age when they like Caillou when it's not good to be picking on them. I
always think about Saved by the Bell now and MTV. Those are the two things I think about where like as a teenager from probably the age of 11 until probably and then till like 26,
the college years,
right? Well, no, Saved by the Bell is one of those things. This is like a fucking horrible TV show. You look at that fucking TV show and you're like, who would ever like this?
Everybody did.
But I was fucking obsessed with it. Or like you with City Guys. You still sing the goddamn City Guys song. Yeah, I'll bet you would watch an episode of City Guys right now if you could.
I'd be embarrassed. Yeah. If I watched. I would not watch it. I couldn't imagine seeing it.
And
Saved by the Bell too was huge. I mean, but that was for like kids that weren't adults. It's like Hannah it's just for 11 or 12-year-olds, the one who imagine what it's like when they're going to be teenagers. You know?
And you're never supposed, like, parents are always like, why are you watching this crap? Why would you ever like this? And it's like, well, I'm a kid and I'm, like, not as developed as you, and I don't really have, like, my taste figured out. A lot of times kids are just watching what their friends tell them.
See, I don't know. I disagree. The kid stuff that's out now is, like, so fucking incredible. Like, My Little Ponies, when we were a kid, was like these really horrible still animations of these ponies, like, solving a mystery or whatever the fuck it was with their powers. But now it's like they get into like social issues and like how to treat other people and self-esteem and like acceptance. And, Steven Universe is like on another level of wokeness with like relationships and inclusivity and stuff. You were
just watching She-Ra when I got
She-Ra's huge. Yeah, this like I feel like we're in the day and age now where it's like so the stuff is actually quality, and like Charlotte does like stuff like My Little Ponies where she follows along with a long story arc and they pay off. It's not like someone told me that they used to watch Dragon Ball Z and they gave up because they watched like for 8 weeks in a row or 9 weeks in a row, and then because of the way that the TV seasons were set up, they would just reboot the tapes at the beginning. So they had 26 tapes of Dragon Ball Z. They would play 4 of them over and over again as part of the syndication. And it was just like, what the I'm not going to watch this guy power up again,
Yeah, we used to we've talked about this a lot on the show about when we were kids, like, well, I've said this about YouTube videos. I've done other people's podcasts where they're like, as a parent, are you weirded out by your kid watching a lot of YouTube shows and shit like that? And every time I answer it the same way, where it's like, okay, like, well, they don't ask me on podcast. It's like other podcasters will ask me and Brett parenting stuff a lot of time, and comedians will ask us parenting stuff because we're the only dads they know, I think. And I remember, I think it was the Chapo guys who asked me about those YouTube videos, those weird fucking YouTube videos. And I said, I think that when I was a kid, I was watching shit like He-Man and the GoBots, and they were just TV shows that were done as cheaply as possible, written by fucking probably some guy chomping on a cigar and saying, these kids eat this shit up. And they were just commercials for fucking toys, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it was the most cynical possible thing. At least on YouTube, a lot of times, if they're watching the right stuff, obviously if your kid's really young, they don't know what to watch. But if they're watching what Gwen watches, at least, it's like people her age talking and playing and making something up. Like, who better to make stuff for teenagers than other fucking teenagers?
Yeah.
Maybe a few years older, like telling them to believe in themselves and like, you know, back, you know, some idiot like 16-year-old telling 14-year-olds that it gets better is like a lot better than some cigar chomping creep selling you He-Man toys. You know?
Well, and it's also ridiculous when they're like, well, they can't be on the screen all day, unlike me, an adult who's on the screen all day, and they're born into a world where you need to be on a screen all fucking day. They shouldn't be looking. I look for the behavior, you know. For me, it was I had heard from other people that they watched like Ryan's toy review, they watch any of those unboxing videos, and then all of a sudden they have a kid that expects to get a toy every time they go to the store. They think that you always get a new Lego set all the time, and that was what it was. Is like I told Charlotte, like they have a budget. Like I explained behind the scenes what they're doing here. I tell her, real mommies and daddies do not have all the time in the world to play with you the way that these families on YouTube do, because they're doing a show. They're working right now. They're not actually playing with their kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And so she gets caught up in it and really likes it and tells me about it, and she enjoys it, but she doesn't beg for fucking stuff. She doesn't beg for things. She's happy with what she got, what she has, what she's got. She's happy with what she got. And so that's for me, that's the behavior. And also, if we say no, it's time to shut it down for its bedtime, she turns it off, or we know 5 more minutes, which is fine. She sticks to that. It's like, I'm big about that too with her, is I feel like a lot of kids can't handle the transition from like, you know, lunchtime to bedtime to playtime and all that stuff. And that you do really have to be like, or you have 2 more minutes and then we go. But like, you really have to wrap it up instead of just being like ripping it out of her hand and being like, it's bedtime. It's like, that's a good reason to start crying, you know?
You're pretty,
instead of like,
are good at that.
Finish your video, like finish your fucking video and then we'll go, you know?
Yeah. Always letting them kind of, like the thing about having a kid that at least I've figured out was that you have to let them think that they're running the show at least a little bit. Like, I if you want to, I guess, like, I want to raise a kid that's confident around other adults. I want to raise a kid who will understand that when she's 18, she's an adult, and that, do you understand? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so that, like, she will have that self-determination and she won't be stuck in some weird arrested, like, 14-year-old thing where she can't cook. Nobody's ever made her cook. Nobody's ever made her do anything. Like, I'm trying to give her the tools to deal socially in the world when she is out of my purview.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it's important that I've always felt it was very important to at least give her the illusion that she's making decisions and that she's part of the family or part of the decision-making structure within the house, even if she's not. Like, I don't let her decide how much money I'm going to spend on her on, like, summer clothes. You know, I make that determination, and maybe I'll buy you a pair of Birkenstocks, and maybe I fucking am not going to.
You definitely are going to.
I am.
You're probably a caver.
I mean, did you want to know the latest thing? Was I bought her the Lululemon pants again after saying I was never going to get them for her ever.
Yeah, did we talk about this?
I've now bought her 2 pairs. I think I'm going to buy more.
Yeah, they're great. They sound great.
Well,
they make her happy.
Yeah, and well, I gotta take her. My wife took her shopping when we were on the road last time and spent like $150 on her, and now I'm expected to now take her mall shopping.
Oh,
For some reason, that's my job to take her to Zoomies and let her buy something.
a little more dangerous.
Yeah, or go to Pacific. That's what the kids get from me. I think that's what I provide in our circle.
Yeah.
If the kids want to do dangerous shit, you can always just send them to me, and I'll
Watch them.
take them and do something.
Make sure it's not too. Make sure they stay within the boundaries.
Yeah, but let them think that they've way crossed the boundary.
Yeah.
I'm really good at faking like outrage to get them to not want to do like I'm freaking him out. He's an adult. I don't want to. Like it's really good when I was when Gwen was real young. I was really good at like playing a board game and talking shit after shit, and then dropping the game at the end. And like losing, and then they get to be like, you fucking, you were bragging, you were, and like I don't think I ever lost on purpose, but most games you play with kids are games of. Really like games of chance. Candyland's a game of chance.
Yeah.
There's no like, but I would just talk shit so that if she did win in the end, she like slayed a fucking dragon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my niece to a 21 Savage concert if he ever comes here because she's asked for that, and she's asked me to take her to a show with a mosh pit. So I'll probably like take her to an ICP concert when they come through town the next time, and like let her mosh in a fucking mosh pit. Just, I mean. These kids, like, they're old enough to do it. They want to have these fucking experiences. And, like, I want to be, if like, the other parents aren't going to do it, then I'll be the person that'll do that. I'll be the person that takes your son or kid to wrestling. If they decide they're into wrestling and you don't like wrestling, I'll take your kid to wrestling. You know what I mean? I'll take your kid to a concert. I'll go do, I mean, like, I'm not going to ride roller coasters with them. That's
right.
Brett's
That's
job.
me.
Brett's a roller coaster guy. But the teens just, I mean, the two teens that we have running around now just like hanging out with me. I think they think I'm cool. I have a cool job. And I think they just like me. Like I said, I have a cool job and I'm nice, and I will take them to do things. And that's fine with me, you know?
Yeah.
If that's the thing, taking in the horror movies is like a rewarding experience for them, and it's me that's doing it, then that's fucking great. I hope everybody has I wish somebody had done that stuff for me. Jason is really the guy that did that for me. Jason put me in my first mosh pit. When I was 15 years old, we were seeing Fear Factory, and he looked over at me and he said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Yes." And then he pushed the three guys in front of me, and a pit broke out around me, and I was just in it. And I was like, I can't, like, this isn't that bad. This isn't.
Yeah.
And I got out, and I was like, the pit's nothing, man. You know what I mean? And you lose your voice, and you're sore the next day from it. And it's just like really great experience that isn't super dangerous, but it feels like you just did something. And I will never forget that. I will never forget him starting a mosh pit for me. So I want to, like, provide. He took me to so many concerts that he honestly didn't really have to take me to. And my parents were kind of like, "Oh, yeah, you can go if you're going to go with Jason," which I don't quite get. We were both fairly
old school.
Irresponsible.
Old school.
Yeah, it's just like, you can go with the son that gets in trouble all the time, and also, like, you get in trouble all the time.
Take your orny brother with you.
Yeah, and he took me, and like, I got like a really great. Those were the best experiences of my life up until I got a little older, and still I think on them fondly. I think of fondly on Jason getting shit-faced drunk and like jumping on guys' backs in the mosh pit and screaming the city that they said they were from in their ear, and like just pushing people around. He took me to see Korn, and he stage dove and got kicked out of the concert on the second song, and then stood out in the parking lot while these two cops stared at him and just yelled, "Fuck yeah! corn. Like that as I was walking out. Like, I just remember all that stuff, and like, I want to give that to somebody. I always wanted to give that sort of thing to somebody. I mean, I'm going to probably do it a little safer than Jason did, but Jason was also fucking 18 years old, so, you know, you can't really blame him, but I just want to be that person. We have a lot of kids running around, and I miss young kids now. I miss having 6 and 7 year olds like talking to me regularly and shit. And I'm getting to see my teen daughter experience the world through a teenager's eyes, and it's cool and it's interesting and it's fun. But I do also have that thing where like the thing that you have with Charlotte that you're going to get to watch happen for another few more years is like, this person is like discovering the whole world and how to behave and how to be around other people. And I think that really reveals that will, in the end, I'm sure it already has started, but like seeing her grow and seeing the things that she goes through will reveal to you in your own mind things about yourself. You know, because I learned a lot about myself through watching Gwen experience the world, and just some of the questions they ask you questions where like you have to answer the question, but you've never thought of it. Like they'll just ask you wild shit, and you'll just like you having to explain Brian toy reviews to her and how they do it. Like I'm sure you didn't like really feel like that was something you thought about beforehand. You were just talking to your daughter, and that kind of stuff came up. You know? Or her, like, my daughter's learning. I mean, my daughter's got bad kids around now that like Jewel. Yeah. And you know, there's kids experimenting with weed now and alcohol and stuff, and like hearing her opinions on that kind of stuff, and you know, knowing in my mind that I tried that shit when I was 12. Yeah. You know? Yeah, for sure. And seeing her growth has been really cool, and seeing how chicken shit she is I don't think she's ever tried a Jewel. Sure. And I don't think she's ever. No. Well, you never know. I mean, you never know. Yeah, she might, you know, it's just weird, like her. I mean, she'd see enough of you vaping stuff. I mean, that kind of sets the standard on whether it's okay to vape or not. Well, she knows about weed. Right. She knows it's weed, and she knows that I do it because it gets me high. Right, but Jewel's the same thing. I mean, Jewel's just vaping. Yeah. I mean, you know her, though, and know that she, like... I don't... Well, you don't know who she's going to be. Yeah, but you know that she's, like, kind of... the way she behaves is so odd to me now, like, and see it, and I'm like, I gave her all the space that I ever wanted when I was a kid, and she didn't take advantage of it by being bad. You know what I mean? Like, I gave her all the room to do all the things she ever wanted, and I think that like doing that made her reined her in, because I didn't feel like I had the space to get away with things when I was younger, and I just did it anyway. Yeah. I was like, fuck it, if I get caught, I'll deal with the consequences later. She doesn't do that stuff. Yeah. I think that's fucking cool. And I don't know why it doesn't happen. I don't know like why she's good. Yeah. So, who knows? I mean, yeah, because you let her feel like she's in control. Yeah. She doesn't have to rebel against anything. Yeah. It's like the thing I worry about now is she was talking to me one day about like, how did I go out and get in trouble at night and shit, and like when I went and did vandalism or when I was out doing drugs, she's like, how did you like even get away with that? And I said, well, I used to sneak out of my house. Yeah, jump out the fucking window, kid. Yeah, I used to sneak out of my house, and also me and all my friends would say we were staying the night at each other's houses, and then we would just spend the whole night out fucking running the neighborhood, you know? And after I said that, I was like, did I just fucking give her an idea? But I don't think she would ever do it. I stay up all fucking night anyway. I'm up till 4 in the fucking morning every night. There's a lot that changes. I know, but how do you sneak out? A lot of years. How do you sneak? But she can lie and just say she's staying the night somewhere and go running around. And my wife is always like, oh, if she ever does that, you know. And I'm like, I mean, she's going to fucking do that. If she decides to do it, she's going to do it. And you know what? You're never going to fucking know she did it. Yeah, that's the good part. Yeah. And I've already told her, like, don't go out and do something stupid and get caught by somebody else's parents and make me pretend to yell at you in front of them. I think about that a lot now, where it's like, as a teenager, all the times, like, some parent called my parents and my parents got mad, you know?
And to show off.
Yeah. And I'm
going to discipline them.
Oh, you son of a bitch, you're in big trouble this time. Well, I think we covered for the call-in show now. We did
certainly.
Boy,
yeah.
And because I know that people depend on the length of that call-in show on Mondays. So I think it's always good to make sure, like, if we're going to replace it, we should replace it with something big.
Yeah, and we're going to systematize this thing so that we can get these call-in shows more regularly. I apologize for that once again.
The world is a vampire.
Thank you for listening to Street Fight Radio. We will see you. Well, no, we won't see you. On Wednesday, you're going to get the Patton Oswalt episode of Street Fight Radio, and then we will be taking your calls next Sunday for sure. I'm calling Jake to come in here and do the audio, so it's going to happen.
I think Mike Gravel's calling in next Sunday.
I wouldn't say that because every time we said someone's going to call in, they fucking don't.
Patton?
Right. That's why he's the only good celebrity.
He is. Mike Gravel says he's going to call next week, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
How long did we do, Jason?